All right, we are live on the internet.
I'm on the internet.
Just making sure everything's working.
Good idea.
I think everything's working. Looks like everything's working. Okay. It's very quiet in chat, so I have nothing to say on that
Waiting for
front.
people.
Yeah, usually there's people in here already, but there's nobody in here, so yeah. Oh, Tracy's here. Never mind. There are people. Okay, good.
People like
And
you.
Asa, excellent. Okay, we're not alone. We're not screaming into the void.
Well, I mean, technically we are, but and we're never technically alone. We do these things with each other, so.
And Sally's here.
Hello, hello,
Excellent.
hello, hello,
I'm
hello.
still eating breakfast slash lunch.
Just doing great on this time thing.
Yeah. Sherry's here. Excellent. So what's everybody working on for their sprints today while I eat
That's a
food?
good question. Ask people.
Because I have like 5 things, because, yeah, unmonogamous.
Listen, I have those weeks. Everybody has those
Felt
weeks.
so good to just be able to pick up whatever because I
Yep.
didn't have to get the Cobra sweater done. I got the Diana socks done. And I'm just like, I'm gonna pick up literally anything that I want right now.
Yep. No, Phaedra, you got a snack.
Which isn't to say that I necessarily cast on anything new. Although I suppose I did cast on something new. We've got that sweater challenge going on.
Yeah, it started Thursday. It's 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Phaedra.
So I'm definitely working on that today for possibly more than one sprint.
That makes sense. I have to rip back all of my progress and start again, so I'm feeling great
Oh
about that.
no!
It sucks balls.
What happened?
Um,
Wrong number of
I'm
stitches?
making moss stitch, not ribbing.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you're like, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah,
Alice is having blanket night, working on her jelly roll and a baby blanket.
okay, okay.
Tracy's working on her sweater and cutting fabric for a bag that somebody ordered.
Good, good.
Sherry's working on the sorrel dress for B and the Whitmore cardigan. That Whitmore's so
Oh,
pretty.
it is so pretty. I'm so excited that there is a Whitmore cardigan because I like the Whitmore, but again, guys,
But cardigan.
a cardigan, which I'd actually wear.
And Sally is trying to finish a shawl MCAL today.
Oh,
Solid
that'll be
plan.
good. That'll be good.
I've got my 2 week sweater challenge that I gotta work on.
Yeah.
I have socks because Mr. Diana wants more socks. I have the patchwork cardigan that I started putting an edging on this week. It's so
Okay.
painfully close to done. What else?
It's really not that much work to finish it too. That's the thing where I'm like, really? Okay, that's that. All right.
I finally sat down and did some spinning this week because Esmeralda's been sitting here in a sunbeam looking so pretty, and I haven't had time for spinning because I had to finish things. So I finally got to do some spinning this week. So I might do some more of that.
Sorry, I had some computer updates that I'm just currently having to accept new terms of agreements for.
Ah, it happens. It is
It
toasty in this
does.
sunbeam. I need to open this window
That's
wider.
good. Oh no, it's not good because you have all that HVAC issue going on.
Yeah, I just accept that I'm going to have cold feet and warm everything else. Especially since my top half is in a sweater and a sunbeam.
Mm-hmm.
My feet are not in said sunbeam. And unless I do some really interesting, like, yoga Cirque du Soleil poses, my feet are not going to be in said sunbeam.
Just saying
I'm
you're
sure
not at the
everybody would love
level
to see me
where you
try.
can do yoga Cirque du Soleil. Because I mean, I feel like I need that in my life.
No, I definitely cannot. That is,
Okay.
my yoga skills are the most basic.
But if I'm signed in under my name on my thingy and I do all the things where it says mark me, follow me, stalk me on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
why? Why? Why will you not turn on my narrator so my computer can talk to me because I can't read print today? You bastard.
All right. I need some scrap yarn, and then I think we can set up for our first sprint.
Absolutely. I mean, you're in charge of this thing. I sort of follow along.
Also says, I need that tonight, Diana. Need to do some yoga, Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil yoga?
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
I'm allowed my Grammarly. I've got my simplified view on. Why?
Stitch markers, where's my... That's not good.
Ha-ha!
Does anybody
Got it
know
to work.
what I've done with my darning needle that I definitely had the other day because I was weaving in ends with it?
Where were you weaving it ends?
That's a great question.
I'm glad I asked it.
It was either here or in the
Okay.
living room. In which case, there's a non-zero chance it's in the couch and I'll never find it again.
I was like, if it was in the living room and it's fallen to that couch, man, it might be a lost cause.
Sherry's asking if your Orcam can read the computer.
It can, but if it does that, then everybody has to listen to my Orcam speak because there is no microphone. There's no speaker, like headphone for it. It
just talks.
says out loud. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, that's not its purpose or what it's intended for. So it's meant to be an auditory source of information for me while I'm out and about doing things.
I'm sure I cleverly put it in.
It does things like tells me what bill I have in my hand, or reads ingredients lists on boxes for me in grocery stores, or tells me what's in front of me obstacle wise. So if I'm not sure what's in front of me, I can ask it, and it'll tell me if there's a shopping cart or a person or a dog or a barrier. Like, it'll tell me. It helps me locate doors because it'll tell me where the door is.
Sherry says my darning needle's on my desk under my cup warmer. And you know, if you're right, I'm going to be thoroughly shocked. I cut my nails the other night, and now they're short. Okay. This is me checking under the cup warmer.
Okay.
No, just coffee spills. Only coffee spills under the cup warmer.
Okay. I'm gonna keep eating my potatoes.
But now I am checking under other things over here. No. I feel like I cleverly put it in a project bag so that I had it when I needed it, but I don't remember which one that would be. I have other darning needles. I have found a darning needle. It's just not the one I was thinking of.
I keep all of my darning and my stitch markers and things in one container, and that container moves from bag to bag to bag. It's the only way to keep track of them.
I have like
don't worry. I
the
also
big thing of notions, but then I have the smaller travel thing of notions.
Oh yeah, like my
then
stitch markers have their own
an
bag.
Even smaller travel thing of notions, but then it's not in there either.
Well,
I'll find it sometime.
I need a small victory. I'm going to cast on this first sprint.
Alright. I'm going to scooch the rest of my food over there so I don't get my yarn in it, because we don't need oatmeal covered yarn. Oatmeal colored yarn, yes. Oatmeal covered yarn,
covered
no.
yarn, no. Yeah.
Not so much. We're not into that. Need to pull up my pattern for this.
Before anybody gets terribly excited, it's for a second sock. Which I don't make pattern pages for. But I need a sock.
Okay.
For D&D tonight. I mean, to be totally fair, I could cast on any number of things for D&D tonight.
Step 1.
Reset.
I need to get these needles back. Okay, shall we start this first sprint?
Yes, if everyone's ready. Do a countdown. Put a timer. I have no idea what people see on their screens.
It's the usual thing. There's just a timer sitting above us that says 25 right now.
Okay. I'm going to argue with a cast on that I should know how to do because I only do toe-up socks.
Oh,
It's going to
Tammy
take me all
says,
25
shaved
minutes.
ice, summer sweater time, getting close to third color. Excellent. And Sherry says, I have teeny containers of everything that I keep everywhere and misplace. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't know. I would freaking go crazy if I did that to myself.
All right, let's start the sprint. We seem to be ready. Or at least I'm ready.
Quick.
I don't know. Are you ready?
Nope, go anyway.
All right. 3, 2, 1, sprint.
So I sit here going, how do I cast it on toe-up sock again? Oh, jeez.
Tammy says, knowing you were coming on, got dusting and straightening in the 20 minutes before, so one sprint ahead. Fantastic.
Excellent.
I'm glad we can enable some, like, actually useful things.
Okay.
I mean, I guess crafting is useful, but house cleaning is more visibly useful, I guess.
House cleaning is very useful. A clean environment and tidy environment is very good for your mental health.
I need to clean this office. I haven't
Good for your
swept the
sense of
flooring
self. It's good practice and it's good hygiene. It does a lot of things.
I haven't swept the floor in this office in an embarrassing amount of time. And also that coffee stain under my cup warmer has definitely been there for several months. I need to clean my office. That's just embarrassing.
And yet you told the internet.
And yet I told the internet. But see, now that I've told the internet, I will be thoroughly embarrassed enough to do something about it.
Fair.
So, sometimes I just have to irritate myself into doing what is healthy for me.
Well, I gotta clean the cat box today still. Like there's always stuff to do. Whether or not it gets done as soon as it should get done, probably not. I also have to put on pants to leave the house today, so like I'll probably take some garbage out while I go, because that just makes sense. All right, I remembered how to cast a toe-up sock. This is a good start, folks.
Assuming the weather holds, I'm gonna go for a nice walk after this because it's actually sunny today.
I need to bake
a couple of days of freezing rain. Ooh, cookies. Oh, I was gonna make cookies the other day. Okay, maybe I need to make cookies too.
I need to bake cookies, take garbage, and reheat my baked beans because I made baked beans yesterday, but everybody and their dog can tell you baked beans are better day 2. Like you need to do a slow, long cook, stick them in the fridge, then reheat them. That's pure homemade baked bean territory.
I will take your word for it. I have actually never made homemade baked beans.
I love homemade baked beans.
I should maybe learn how to do that. I bought a can of the British tomato sauce baked beans because I found black pudding at the grocery store. So we're gonna have fancy Scottish breakfast for dinner tonight.
Okay, why not?
And yes, I know what black pudding is, and I'm aware of what the black part of the black pudding. I don't care. It's delicious.
I'm going to enjoy foods that other people might find gross.
I don't know. Some people have a hard time with it.
I don't know what the black part of black pudding is, but I've never had black pudding, so I don't know if I like it or not. Before anybody thinks it can gross me out, I have eaten whale blubber.
Okay. It's blood.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, blood is the binder in black pudding, as opposed to, like, eggs or whatever.
Well, but does it taste good?
I think so. It's, like, salty and spicy, and I also have a perpetual iron deficiency, so that might also play into it.
Possible. That's because you don't eat enough foods that have a good iron for women to absorb.
Probably. I'm sure I could fix that problem. But I don't. Or maybe I do. I don't know.
My
Sherry
iron
says
problem.
scab sausage.
Scab sausage.
Thanks. I'm gonna think of that now.
But I mean, I've also eaten like roasted crickets as like a snack. So like
I
I'm
have never
willing to
done
try
that. I
most
haven't.
things.
I haven't managed to get myself to eat bugs.
Well, technically, you eat bugs. If you eat
Well,
a
like
canned or
knowingly,
boxed item, there is a very not insignificant percentage of allowable bug in
I
all of your pre-made food, in
I am
everybody's
aware of
pre-made
that.
food.
I have issues with knowingly eating something that is still bug shaped.
That's right. The bug shaped thing's the weirdest part. Start with like ground
Yeah,
ground
I have no
cricket
problem
is
with the
protein
concept
meal.
of like um having like ground bug flour or something. That doesn't bother
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
But
that stuff's
like
really tasty.
eating a roasted salted cricket, just I
You got to work up to it. You have to work up to it.
yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Sherry says, no, 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 my box food are bug free.
No, it's not.
Disturbingly, no, it's not.
Neither's your chocolate or any of the stuff that you eat out of a can box or a jug. Like, not even close. There is a frightening amount of stuff that's allowed to go in there that they don't have to tell you about
Also
because
says,
regulation says they're allowed up to that much,
oh yeah.
which means it's in there, guys. They're not going to put any more work in than to just meet regulations.
Also says, I love black pudding. We always made that in the autumn after slaughter.
Which makes
Yep.
total sense.
Yep.
I'm intrigued. I'll have to try that sometime.
Oh, Jude has joined us. I'd forgotten about the sprints. But you made it, so that's good.
Yay, that's the important part. I've successfully cast on it too.
Sherry says, I just don't care for the spice combo. It reminds me of tortillere. See, I like tortillere. I like
I've
that
never had
spice combo.
tortillere, so I don't know if I'd like that either.
It's a combination of spices that I think typically gets put into like sweet food. So it's a little bit weird having them in savory food, but I like it. I think it works.
I mean, I'm absolutely willing to try. I think it could be good. I mean, not tonight. Tonight for dinner, I'm having homemade baked beans and rice before I go to D&D.
Well, yeah. Ow!
And I'm making cookies because I opened up
Don't
that
mind
jar
me,
of
I just
molasses.
stabbed myself in the face with a knitting needle. It's dangerous over here.
You're a classy, classy woman.
Oh my god. I wonder how I exist sometimes.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Lisa says, I was anemic until menopause. Menopause is so weird. It like completely changes your entire body chemistry as far as I can tell.
It does, yes. That's okay. I was learning about development in the womb of we people, and that absolutely everybody develops ovaries. Men's ovaries become testes. So it isn't. We all start with ovaries, and then boys just go sideways.
Kind of literally.
I
remember learning that fact.
on the development stuff, and my brain goes, so basically, boys are girls that went left instead of right. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Serves the same reproductive function. It's a shared thing we all have. We just all start with one, and then boys are like, meh, well, I have them on the inside when I can have them on the outside. Okay. Sure, I guess. Whatever floats your boat.
Okay.
Things that amuse me.
Done.
But yes, no, menopause changes a lot of things.
Sleeve. Increase 2 stitches.
I'm not excited by the
round.
idea of maybe suffering from insomnia. I really hope that doesn't happen. I could do without that.
Until you have 58 stitches. Okay.
My ear's finally starting to feel better. We're still a little warm to the touch, and my lymph node is still a touch swollen. But given that I am currently on antibiotics for an infection, this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
My hope is that I'm symptom free like 3 or 4 days before the end of the medication cycle, because then I know for sure the antibiotics have got the infection on the run, and I just have to finish out my last 3 or 4 days, and I'm good. That's my hope. That's my hope. But we've been downgraded from "you must die, stabbing, murder, killing" in my ear to vague 4-year-old tutu wearing tantrum throwing. So the ear pain is getting better.
That's much more tolerable.
I am far less grumpy, and I'm far more awake because I'm not in nearly as much pain. This is an increase, bro.
Also saying that salted crickets are nice, but not very available. And Tracy says, good protein.
It's an excellent source of protein. It's an excellent source of renewable protein that could feed the world with far less environmental impact.
Oh, I'm fully on board with it. I just need it in a not cricket shape.
Oh yeah, but you can buy it in flour format. So
Yeah.
Just buy it in flour format and then start having like protein-rich croissants. Just think about that. You could have a croissant in the morning. You could have a chocolate croissant in the morning, and it's got like your protein requirements for the day in your chocolate croissant. Like, how cool is that?
I would be okay with that.
It's so good.
And then the black pudding also was saying Mom did not use a lot of spices, but she always used boiled rice. There's rice in it? It's been a long time since I've had a black pudding, because it's really hard to find in Canada.
Might have to start making it.
I thought about it for a while, but then, like, even just getting the stuff to make it is also hard.
Because you have to network with a farmer.
And it's, like, super regulated.
As it needs to be.
Yeah.
Given its ingredient list.
Yeah. So, like, just sourcing ingredients is difficult. But there's a place that makes it now, so I can just buy it. And I'm okay with that, because it's not something I need a lot of. And I feel like black pudding is something that when you make it, you make a lot of it. And I don't need a lot of it. I'm perfectly happy to have the 4 little pucks that I found. And that will suit me just fine for the next several months. Oh, Jude's asking, don't crickets have an allergy risk? My luck, I'd be allergic. Huh, I don't know. I mean, I guess anybody can be allergic to anything. I'm sometimes allergic to apples. So, you know, anyone can be allergic to anything for any period of time, and it can change.
Yep.
So, wouldn't surprise me. I imagine it also might depend on what they feed the crickets.
No, it would be what else is processed into turn them into flour. Because you think about it, I can have beef. We feed cows corn.
Crickets are a little bit closer to their food, though, than a cow is. Like, just physically.
Whatever you eat from a cow, it got from what it ate. So what I'm allergic to in corn is still there.
I was thinking of, like, pollen and stuff. Like, if you're eating a whole cricket, it might have, like, pollen and stuff. But if you're eating cow, the part of the cow that you're eating was not exposed to pollen and stuff.
No, it was built up by it. But no, it wouldn't work that way. Because if your pollen allergen is a seasonal nose allergen, you haven't shoved the cricket up your nose. Which is what's reacting to the pollen. You ate it.
I did not take biology
cares.
At any point in my life. For the record, I'm just making wild suppositions.
Heavily allergic to pollen. I have no problem with crickets. But again, I don't shove crickets or cricket flour up my nose. So, like, that could be the defining difference.
Well, now we need to do science and shove crickets up your nose.
I am not shoving a cricket up my nose. I don't
For
care.
Science! For
That's
science!
not happening. I am not shoving I'm not shoving a roasted dried cricket up my nose unless we're doing it to make Ben go, ah. Like if we're doing it to make Mr. B make a squeaky sound of distress, then I may actually shove a cricket up my nose. Otherwise, it's not happening. I'm doing it for science. Shock value, maybe. Science, never. But it's like anything else. I'm sure there's somebody out there who's allergic to it. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people out there who will never try it because they won't even remotely accept something different at all. They're very anti-change. Most people are anti-change. They won't try it. But it always boggles my mind. It's like we talk about all these things. It's like, yeah, but I'll never eat it. I'm like, yeah, but you eat the cow, and that's what we feed the cows. So technically, you are eating it. You're just getting it from a different source. So you're pretending you're not, but you are. Same with like you eat chocolate. Well, then you eat bugs. That's kind of how that works.
Sherry says, you don't know what she does with her cricket flour.
I don't know if other people snort their cricket flour. I don't know if you can get a contact high of snorting cricket flour. I'm not going to try snorting my cricket flour. It's an expensive flour for a reason. It takes more to process. I use my cricket flour and I make things with it because it makes tasty, tasty flour.
Huh.
And it gives me a protein boost, which I'm always looking for a good protein boost that is great. Just because it just boggles my mind. Like if you had like one cattle-sized farm, but what they raised was bug protein.
It'd be so much more protein for like
we could
effort.
Like there'd be orders of magnitude more people could live off that at a less environmental impact. Like,
so apparently, if you have a shellfish allergy, crickets may also trigger that.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But again, if you're human, you could be allergic to air. Like, you could be allergic to anything. And I'm not saying take it off the menu, nobody ever eats cow again. I'm saying, no, we reduce one and bring the other up so it's 50-50. So if you have an allergy, you don't have to. But if you don't have an allergy, then you bloody well should be eating both in equal quantities.
I'm super on board. Also says, I find it a bit strange that people eat shrimps but turn their back on crickets. It's the same, one in the ocean and one on land.
I know, they're no different.
Right?
Like, there's no problem. They both look creepy as people.
Well, we need a celebrity creepy entrepreneur to invent like some kind of cricket protein powder and hype it up, and then everybody will be on board with crickets.
There's just I mean, when I'm in Saskatchewan next time, I'll take a look out because some of the leading work done in alternative protein sources is coming out of Saskatchewan farms and stuff. So I can take a look to see if there's any in the Saskatchewan main store in Saskatoon. Because I know they got chickpea flours and stuff like that. Like they do a lot of lentils and beans out there, and I love their chickpea stuff. Maybe that's what I'll get you for Christmas this year. We'll get you really weird food you never tried that I got from the province over.
I'm down. I'm always down for some weird food.
That's where I got the that pre-made spicy lentil soup I could eat, and the pre-made spicy mushrooms, the mushroom soup I could eat. Like pre-made soups I could eat was in the Sask main store. They also carry local organic raw honey. Oh god, that was dangerous. Came home with like 4 things of honey and they were gone before the end of 3 months.
Oh gosh.
This was
I do
so
not
good.
go that much honey.
It was so good. I was like, oh, it calls for sugar. I'm gonna use honey instead. Let's go looking for recipes that call for honey. Because I've got a lot of it in my cupboard right now and I really want to play with it. Sometimes with the raw stuff, it just kind of went in a cup of hot water and I drank it because it was really freaking good. Now I have to buy the store stuff and it's just sad panda. It doesn't taste anywhere as good.
No, it doesn't. Lisa says, snorting cricket flour sounds like a sinus infection to me.
I know. Why would
Probably.
you do that? But okay.
Sherry says, apparently I'm anti-change because I don't want to try crickets, lol. And she suggests Gwyneth Paltrow as the celebrity to bring about the cricket protein powder shake.
I was going to go Gretna, the young activist.
Oh. I feel like she's not the like entrepreneur hype up protein powder type.
No, but I would take an endorsement from her a whole heck of a lot more seriously than I would somebody else.
True. I don't think she's the right personality for that, though.
No, it would be more like this is just a thing that I eat, and somebody would notice and ask her, and she'd be like, "Yeah, she's made with this, whatever." We move on with her day, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, that would be her
that's
endorsement.
and that's the endorsement we should be getting. Like, okay, if that's what you were using, good. Nobody paid you to talk about this. Wasn't sponsored. Okay, that's a serious one I can
The
take.
chickadees are back. Sorry, I'm
Are
just
you
really...
happy?
Yeah, I am happy. Except in about 5 minutes, I'm going to be really annoyed because they're
Yep.
doing the tweet tweet, which just to me always reminds me like yoo-hoo. And
Yep.
then there's just some silence. Yoo-hoo. I'm like, shut
Yep.
up.
You're such a lover of nature. You don't want the chickadees to chirp. You don't let the squirrel store the pizza in your car.
I don't want the squirrels to store the pizza in my car, okay? That's not where pizza goes.
By nature.
Pizza does not
Well, that
go in the
squirrel
engine of my car.
did not give a flying fart that it was sitting on top of your car. And you just sat there and started chowing down on the pizza, like, oh, where I'm going to stick this. You're like distressed in their car. Don't leave your pizza there. Like, I don't think the squirrel cares. Squirrel sits down.
The
Nope,
squirrel
squirrel
did not
does not
care.
give a flying fart about you in
Squirrel
the
gave
car.
no farts.
That's so good.
Yes, Greta Thunberg, I don't remember, or whatever her name is, from Sweden. She will get the youth in on it. Yeah.
Which is really what needs to happen.
Yep. And Sherry says, cheeseburger birds. Those are my faves. Cheeseburger birds?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Is this a thing? I don't know what this is. There's 4 minutes left in the sprint.
Okay,
Knit
I
fast.
will finish.
Or rip fast, or...
Oh, I'm doing a toe, so there's not that many stitches. So.
Google it. Okay. I will Google it in 3 minutes and 45 seconds when the sprint is done. I will Google cheeseburger birds. And then apparently I will be enlightened.
Sure. Oh, played some Tiny Tina yesterday, Thursday night with my sister.
Oh, how was that?
Because her birthday was yesterday. It was good. They were very patient. The three of them run off and go do their thing, and then someone comes and fetches me and takes me to where the loot is.
That works.
Depending on who fetches me, it determines how straight of a line we go. Izzy gets distracted, so I end up all over the place when it's the kid leading me around. Well, they're a functioning trio. Like, they've played Borderlands 2 and 3 enough. Like, they're a pro group. Like, they know who does this, who goes where, when to trigger. Like, they're a functioning group. So, like, I'm the newbie. So we're sort of figuring out how my game style fits in with theirs. So I end up standing farther back, and they keep bringing me bigger and bigger guns that shoot farther. And I drop a protective ring around myself in magic. And then I take my very, very, very large sniper rifle, and I shoot things at a distance. Because I move slower than they do, so I'm always farther back, right?
Doesn't matter.
So Chris will be like,
rifle, though.
Big badass is on the ground, and then he's like, oh, never mind, it just got shot to death. Thanks, Jocelyn. I'm like, you're welcome. That was a big enough target I could see it. What else can I see through this fancy little scope rifle I got going on here? Oh, look, there's a bad thing. Sibling. She's like, it was alive. No, it's not. I didn't hit it. I'm like, woohoo. Hey, someone come fetch me. I won't loot. I don't know how to get to where you are. We're working it out, but it's nice. We're hoping to play more often.
I finally booted up Dwarf Fortress last night.
Oh, good.
I melted my brain inside of 20 minutes. It's a lot more user-friendly than the last time I played.
Okay.
But my gosh, there is so much going on. It will melt your brain inside of 20 minutes.
It's not a chillax farming sim?
I mean, I guess it can be. There's just, you have to micromanage everything. Except then you can, like, build up automations. It's...
Oh, thank you.
You have to micromanage everything until you can build automations for it, but, like... the level of detail is just... Like, to build a bedroom, you have to mine out some space, and then you have to designate the zone as a bedroom, and then you have to get the carpenter. You need a carpenter's workshop, and you need the carpenter to make a bed, but you need to make sure you have wood for the carpenter to make the bed with, and then you also need a door on the bedroom, and then somebody can come along and claim the bedroom as their own.
I feel like you might also enjoy Graveyard Keeper.
I do have that one, and I have not played it yet.
It's so good. So good. That would be After Dark though. That's not a kid friendly game.
Okay.
We reanimate zombies to farm our mines and our forests eventually.
Ah, okay.
And remember, you run around in the corpses that show up to collect the meat to feed yourself. So there's some questionable choices, questionable resource management going on in that game.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, sprint's done.
Just in time. Look, I have a toe.
I'm gonna finish my row because I'm on an increase row, and I will forget that if I put this down now.
That is totally fair. That's my second snow globe socks.
So everybody, wrap up what you're doing. Stretch. Get some more water. Figure out what you're doing for the next sprint. Jude says, apparently, if you have a severe dust mite allergy, you shouldn't eat crickets. Yep, I'd be allergic. Fair. Alright, so if you're allergic to shellfish or dust, don't eat crickets.
Or get tested is what you should do. I'm too many years of being allergic to something where everyone goes, well, I've read this thing on the internet for me to go, stop right now. I have an allergy specialist. When they say I shouldn't eat something, I listen to them because they do the academic research side of it, where you have the testing for the proof and the citations and stuff. Like, I'm glad you read it on the internet, but go check with a real doctor. Not a GP. A GP is a general practitioner for a reason. They're there to help house you into the right thing correctly and help lead you through life. You need an allergy specialist for it. Because an allergy specialist's life is allergies.
But you need a GP to get to the allergy specialist.
You need the GP to get to the allergy specialist. I love my GP. She sends me to all the right people when necessary, and when not necessary, she helps me solve the problem. An excellent GP doing excellent GP things.
It'd be cool if I had a GP. It'd be great if I could find one of those.
You need to get on a list and wait, is what it is. My GP lives halfway across town from me now. I still go to her because it is so freaking hard to find a doctor.
Oh, Liz is here. Hi, everyone. Taking a break from packing.
Oh, good. Breaks are good, especially from packing. Ugh, packing.
Alright, I need to put this project away now. What am I working on for the next one?
Hey, I don't even know what that link is for.
Oh, I was supposed to Google the cheeseburger birds.
Yes, you were.
Cheeseburger birds.
What are you doing?
Oh, that makes sound that can be picked up on the stream. Hang on. I imagine this is a sound. Hang on, I'm gonna mute you for 1 second so I can find out what this is.
Okay.
Oh, I'm never gonna be able to not hear cheeseburger now. No, skip the ad. Has this somebody has remixed it? Ah, I'm never gonna be able to not hear that now. Okay. We can hear you again.
Okay, good. I was like, have I been unmuted? I don't know.
You have indeed.
Okay, spooky.
What am I doing? Ah, phone. What does the phone say?
Phone says it's a time.
Phone says I need to put this away.
Do you know what you're working on next? Do you? Does you?
I haven't quite decided.
Stop asking me to switch to Chrome. I don't want Chrome. I prefer Bing. Stop asking. Why do I prefer Bing? Because Bing forces everything to a black background in yellow font because that is what I set in my preference settings. Unlike Google, who's like, sure, I'll do it for the first page, but the moment you get search results, I'm back to white. Jerk.
Oh, gross.
Bing goes, no man.
Feel
This
like?
user said black background, yellow font. That is what you will do. Ha!
Do I feel like spinning or do I feel like crochet?
I seriously want you to finish that mother jacket.
Okay. Crochet it is.
That's my vote.
Crochet it is. My hair is almost dry from the shower I had 3 hours ago.
I absolutely will have damp hair all the way through the day because I think I'm going to leave it in a braid because it's got to go out tonight. If I take it out...
Cheeseburger birds. Never gonna not hear it now.
Aren't you? Yeah, you're going to hear it all the time. I'm not Googling it because I don't need to hear this.
It's just the chickeny sound. I never thought of it as saying cheeseburger, but now I hear it. Okay. I don't need that. I should eat some more of my oatmeal before it congeals completely. How about?
Uh-huh.
Jude's working on her second four cardigan. After I got burnt by crochet gauge and drape, and the first ended up with monkey arms.
Yeah, that could happen. Crochet gauge is different from knitting gauge. It's interesting to have an intuitive pickup on that. It takes a bit.
Okay.
So
we're working on a sleeve.
Okay.
And I'm gonna see if I can get a whole sleeve done. Where's the end of this?
Are you seaming?
I am attempting to be lazy and not making the edging separately. I'm just making the edging attached as I go.
That's fair.
Because I don't want to do any more seaming. But I've got a knot tied in my yarn. There we go. I just have to remember how I attached this before.
Oh, circular cast on.
2,
right.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then we skip one and go in here. Okay. I'm ready for a second sprint. How are you doing?
Well, I mean, I get to use the sprint however I want, so long as I'm working on a project for 25 minutes.
This is true.
I'm just trying to decide if I want to rip or cast on another thing and continue to ignore my sweater because I'm upset about it.
Well, you could do ribbing for this one and then cast on for the next one.
I I'm in the ribbing. I haven't left the ribbing because a good chunk of the increases are done in the ribbing. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it does. I should rip. I gotta get it done. I'm going to rip. Going to rip.
Okay.
So I'm good when you are.
All right. I'm going to start the new timer. Reset.
Look at all this progress.
Progress. And that all has to go away?
Yeah, because I'm increasing in the round or increasing in pattern incorrectly. So I have moss stitch in the panels where I'm increasing, and I have proper 1x1 knitting in the panels where I'm not increasing.
Oh. I mean, it could be a design feature, I suppose.
Nope. Nope. It's not a design feature. It just looks bad.
No.
It's one thing if you make the mistake every once in a while and it sort of kind of goes wobbly on you, but I've made it enough that it just looks like a hot garbagey mess.
Oh, Susanna's in chat. Hello, Susanna.
Hey, Susanna.
All right. Are we ready for this next sprint?
I am. I have begun.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Sprint. Gonna see how much of the sleeve I can get done. Or the edging on the sleeve, more accurately. The only thing about being lazy and attaching edging as you go is that you have the whole darn project to contend with in your lap.
I'm not sure if doing attaching as you go would be lazy any more than attaching afterwards would be lazy. They're just two different ways of doing it. You're still doing the same amount of work. It's just how you're choosing to do it. You haven't reduced the volume of work. You've just taken the seaming part out. So you're still doing it. I think I might have to deploy the man part markers to keep track of my increases to make sure I'm doing them correctly this time, because I do not want to do this for a third time, because I have already messed up my cast on edge once, so this is already my second attempt at this ribbing of this yoke. And it's not overly complicated. It's freaking 1x1 ribbing with some increases. It's not hard. Neither's the cast on. And it's making a beautiful V-neck sweater.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the shape is great. I just need to get my freaking increases correct. All right.
That's annoying. Oh, Susanna's getting hearing aids. Uncrafty Chemist has joined us. Good afternoon.
Hello, love.
We're doing whip sprints.
You need another.
We're in whip sprint number 2.
Jubilo, get out of the yarn bowl. Ooh, this is cold. Phaedra found it and took it off the cubes.
Oh, it became.
So I found it on the floor.
Ah. But I made her a little shrimpy cat toy, so she didn't have to play with your Junimo.
That was gonna stop her.
Well,
She plays with the shrimpy cat toy too. They're all hers. This is cat brain, people.
Well, yeah. I tried to make a distraction.
Before the live, guys, she was walking around behind me on the cubes and I was telling her off. God, it hurts to rip this much work on a 2-week sweater challenge.
Yeah. I feel you.
Oh. you cast on your Stone Warrior?
Yeah. I was
Okay.
working on the sleeve last sprint.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention to what you were working on. I just knew you were working on something.
I guess I could have talked about it slightly more. Yes, I was working on the sleeve last sprint. So that is well underway.
Man, that's 80% of a ball I knit too. Ugh. Ugh. This just hurts the soul. Hurts the soul. Well, I finished reading through the rest of the pattern now that I've determined my size.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, the pattern's beautiful. This is the only part that I knew was going to give me some grief. It's a simple, simple colorwork chart. Beautiful. I'm going to fly through that colorwork chart. But
Excellent.
I may have to do just far enough down the body that I can stabilize the sleeves. And I may have to do my sleeves this week because I can push roundy knitting when I'm tired, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's colorwork charts at the bottom of those sleeves. And I don't want to do that while I'm like bone weary, not looking at my knitting because I have no focus, tired. Whereas if I'm just knitting in the round, I don't actually look at my knitting, so it's fine. And there is some talk about because we had to reschedule D&D to this Saturday from last Saturday of just doing it like 2 back-to-back Saturdays to get back to our regular schedule.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we're going to decide that tonight. And if that's the case, then I don't want to be working on the sleeve next Saturday and not have 5 hours of work time because I'm at D&D.
Right.
So I was definitely gonna have to figure that out. So I might have to change my plan of attack for the sweater, which is fine. You're supposed to change adapt. All right. Here we go.
Oh, Susanna's off to attach a new modem, so logging off for a while.
Oh, yes. No, good luck. Hopefully that
Very
goes
important stuff.
smoothly. Yes. It's important to have the internets. All right, there you go. Now I can cast on again. It's good news. I remember how to cast this one on. And I've discovered because the first little bits they have you have like this little rolled edge, and
Mm-hmm.
then you start your ribbing. I can knit back across my cast on edge, then connect to the round, which is just much smoother. Much, much smoother. What did everybody else pick for their WIP this time around? Their item of sprintage.
Did I actually? Oh my god, I did. I actually wove in all the ends on the inside. I just didn't trim them. Oh my god. Thank you, past me. So annoyed with myself that I left this cardigan just languishing for so long.
Oh, it should have been finished ages ago.
It really should have. Because now that I'm doing my, I'm actually tracking all of my WIPs and stuff, like month to month, because I'm trying to
Yeah.
decrease that number.
Yes.
It's becoming really obvious to me what the start dates on some of these were, and it's just really
Yep.
2021.
Uh-huh.
Why?
Oh yeah, I know. I know. Well, if I had the 4 cardigan in here, I would work on that, but it's out of the living room right now, sitting with some of my other larger WIPs. blankets and stuff that don't really fit in the wood cabinet. But I need
I
to.
actually didn't pick mine up this week because it's not particularly close to done, nor does it have any kind of deadline anymore.
Well, mine does.
Trying
We're
to
almost
finish.
at Jocelyn only wears sweaters outside weather, so it would make a great spring sweater. So it needs to be finished.
Well, I think between the two, between this patchwork one and the four for me, this one's taking priority because it's closer to done.
Yes.
Oh, Jen has joined us.
Hey, Jen.
Sherry is weaving in her Gigi cardigan ends.
Oh, good.
Lisa's working on her big granny square blanket. Oh, and Jen
I
just got
love a
back from
good
an
granny.
amazing long walk. Excellent. I want to do an amazing long walk when we're done here. Because it's actually nice
I
out today.
want to bake ginger snap cookies, and if there's enough time, pumpkin cookies.
This sounds excellent.
I should consume it. Just depends on how long I'm here doing this with you.
Well, we do have the power to, start and stop whenever we want. We have that power. This is literally our show.
What?
I know.
I don't know. I don't know. That sounds crazy to me. Ooh, lemonade.
Say that like you're surprised to find it there.
I am. I forget that I have liquid near me, which is weird because I always have liquid near me. I'm always like, I need to go get liquid. And then I look around and go, no, wait, there's some here still. Okay, cool. I always just assume that I forgot it somewhere. The real question is, what am I doing wrong in increasing in pattern? I'm following the instructions. Where am I fudging it so bad?
The instructions could always be wrong.
Yeah, it's like 9 times out of 10, it's not the instructions.
But occasionally it is.
9 times out of 10, Diana.
But that one time.
If it was a problem with the instructions on something as big as a Caitlin Hunter design, somebody else would have
Yeah.
complained about it. It's me,
Yeah.
it's not the pattern. If there's anything we will do is loudly and vocally blame somebody else for the problem immediately. So I know it's me, so I gotta figure out what it is that I'm doing that's messing with stuff so badly. Which is fine, because like the first time I had to restart was because I didn't read the instructions properly, and it said to start with a purl, and I started with a net. So the first mess up was also my fault. So that this mess up is also my fault makes total sense to me. But you're supposed to get these beautiful ribbing, one by one ribbing growing out of your increase sections, and I'm not getting that.
Jen is finishing the second sleeve on the Marled Mania cardigan.
Ooh, nice.
15 rows left? Ooh, that's so close.
That is really close. Totally get that done.
Tammy is asking, are you making it too complicated?
Probably. Like, almost assuredly, I've made it too much.
It's a frequent problem I have.
Thought it to death, I suspect, is my problem. But now that we're sitting here doing it, I feel like I might rebel, and during our 5-minute break, I might get up and go find my 4 cardigan and work on it. Just because I can.
You're allowed to do that.
I mean, at the moment, I don't know how much time is left in this sprint, but...
11 and a half minutes.
That gives me enough time to do my setup rows and put all my stitch markers where they're supposed to go, and you know how it is.
Oh, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Get that all finished and ready, so at least I'm back to the ribbing.
Oh, wait, that's not right.
Because I've now cast it on 3 times, I also remember how many stitches I have to cast on without having to open up the pattern. Oh boy.
This strip of 1x1 ribbing is supposed to be 10 stitches long. And I know on some of my rows it's like 9 stitches long, and on some of my rows it's 11 stitches long. And you know what? I don't care.
That's fair. If it doesn't bother you, move on.
Because I know the instant I start wearing it, I'll start pulling on the sleeves and like playing with it and making it uneven anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's even when I finish working on it, it won't be even after I've worn it a couple times.
Yeah, no, like the moment you start fiddling with it.
Tammy's suggesting a lifeline for when you do it this time.
Uh, sorry, I'm in the counting. The lifeline is it's not going to help me because it's in that first chunk of ribbing. So like I'd have to literally put in a lifeline and then just take it out and put it in again, like every row. Like I got to figure out what it is that I'm doing wrong because I'm increasing every other row in this first rib section.
You could just put a lifeline in like every single row.
No.
You could put one in after the cast on, then you don't have to do that part again.
I'm counting.
I know. I've got a Taylor Swift song stuck in my head because we were talking about the I'm the problem reading the pattern, and so I've just got it's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Stuck in my head.
Also accurate. Yeah, except what is it? We're 12, 13 minutes into a 25-minute whip sprint and I've already ripped it and recast it back on.
We have 8 minutes left. 8 minutes to finish your cast on. Well, I thought I was going to be able to get a whole cuff done in 25 minutes. That is a lie. I think I've currently got not quite a third of a cuff done. So my sense of how long things take to craft is greatly skewed.
A little crazy, is it?
A little bit. A little ski whiff. Oh, come on. Get in there. Tammy says if you're knitting the yarn so many times, just trying to get extra value out of the yarn.
Maybe.
I mean, it's nice yarn.
More and more, I'm becoming a Briggs and Little super fan.
So I've done something vaguely annoying to myself. Because I did the entire bottom of my sweater hem, join as you go, and I did an okay job, it's fine.
Yep.
But as I'm doing my cuff, I figured out a better way of doing it. And it looks nicer. Is it going to bother me that the bottom hem does not look as nice as the rest of the edges? Bless you.
I feel like you'll know that once you're done your cuffs.
Fair.
Once you're done your cuffs, you'll look at your hem and you'll know right away if it bothers you.
So I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to bother me enough to pull out the hem and do it again. Which is really annoying. Why'd I have to go and improve and then want to do it better?
I don't know. Sounds like a personal problem.
It does. Back to the salt mine, says Liz. Good luck on the packing.
Packing, I think, still.
Yeah.
Packing or unpacking? What are the two? They're big projects, both of them.
Unpacking is easier. Well, taking stuff out of boxes is easier than putting it into boxes. Figuring out where it goes in a reasonable and organized fashion, I still haven't managed that.
I've moved too much not to have figured that part out.
I mean, I've only properly moved, I guess, twice now. Because there was moving out of our parents' houses into the apartment together in Winnipeg was like a months-long process, because it could be, and it was chill, and that was fine. But then we had to pack up everything and move to a new province. And then when we moved out of that apartment into this house, and then we had to move everything again, although the apartment's like a 5-minute drive away from this house, so we were able to do it in small batches, which was really nice. We just packed up a bunch of boxes each night, drove it over, unpacked those 8 boxes or that couple bits of furniture, and just did that for a couple weeks. That was all right.
I've changed towns and provinces a lot.
So you're like a pro. I am very much a noob.
Feels like it.
Well, maybe advanced beginner at this point. Tammy says, had a new knitter at Group Knit earlier this week. Reassured them casting on a project 3 times is normal. Absolutely is. Oh my gosh, I went to a new knitting group this week.
It's true you did.
I saw humans in person. I'm going out in the world
She
and
makes
making
it sound
friends.
like she never goes out and does things, guys. She sees people.
No, actually I don't.
You've been back here often enough. You can't say you don't see people.
Okay, I was back there the other week, but besides that, I don't see people.
That's
not in person.
Choice.
So I'm really excited that I went out and saw people in person and I made some new friends. But the point of this was that there was a new knitter at that group too, and that was really great. And there were even a couple of guys at the group, which was also really great. And it happens at a snazzy coffee shop that also has alcohol, so that's great. So this group is run by a lady who actually works at the coffee shop, so when she finishes her shift on Thursdays, she just shifts over to a table at the back and does this knitting group. And then I guess she's collected people, because one of the guys of the group lives literally across the street from this coffee shop, so I guess he's in there all the time. So it had great, you know what, it has sitcom vibes. is what it
Oh
has. It
boy.
has
Oh
sitcom
boy.
vibes.
That's a vibe. Though I
Because,
am
like,
glad.
there's the lady that runs the coffee, or not runs, but, like, works at the coffee shop, a former colleague of hers, another friend of hers, and then, like, this guy that lives in an apartment above the bar across the street. And it was great, and when I
That's
got there, they had one chair left at the table. It was like they were waiting for me.
I'm glad. I'm glad that there were boy knitters. Because I would love for that stereotype garbage nonsense to go away.
He was bravely fighting with a mistake he'd made in a brioche sweater,
Ooh,
trying
yeah.
to ladder some stitches back up. I wished him well and left him to it. Because that's a level of madness that I am not prepared for. But it was very nice. So I think on Thursdays I will make a point of going earlier in the afternoon and... Oh, sprint done.
Okay.
I will go earlier in the afternoon and just do some work. And then at 4 o'clock, workday done, I think. And then time for
I
knitting.
like that plan a lot. It'll be good. Good, 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 good. Also means if I ever actually make it out there to visit you, we have somewhere to go on Thursday.
Yeah. And it's early in the evening, too, so, like, unless it's the dead of winter, it won't even be dark.
Ah, lovely. Lovely, lovely.
And it's by a window in the back, so if there's any sun to be had, that is the brightest spot in the whole place.
Super sunny day, and I'm sitting and I'm knitting with my glasses on, sunglasses on.
Well, then we'll put you in the comfy chair in the corner where it's shady.
But it just depends on what the sun's doing, and you just never know with the sun. Okay.
All right. So in 25 minutes, I can do this much cuff.
Okay.
Which is not quite half.
Well, that's not too bad. That means it's like 40-ish minutes per cuff. So it's under an hour to do a cuff.
Well, that's definitely a little woogity, hey?
Yeah.
Let me
just
just
a
pull that a
smidge.
little. It's just a smidge woogity. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it'll be fine.
Honestly, the instant I start wearing it, I'll like play with the bit that I could reach.
You'll tug at it and it'll be yeah. No.
It'll be
I'm
weird
the same
shaped
way.
anyway.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Okay. I'm gonna go get my phone again. We have a 5-minute break. I need to stand anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess
I'll
I
be
could actually
back.
like set this short break timer. Okay. Stretch, get drinks, pick your new project. Oh, I'm gonna stop melting for a minute. Oh my god. Oh, stretch. Spinning. I'm gonna do spinning for the next one. That is the plan. We've got some serious latency going on here. Because, like, from my perspective... how many seconds of latency do we have on this thing? Because we've got a solid 40... That's 50 seconds of latency? Do we have a full minute of latency going on right now? I have low latency on. Huh? Oh, there we go. Wow, that's nearly a minute of latency. That's cool. Yes, Tracy, I imagine cutting fabric on the floor is very much like doing yoga.
Oh yeah, it totally is. Floor troll yoga. Okay. I tracked down my fork right.
Also finding
What?
the chart for the baby blanket.
Oh, good. Two honking big project bags beside me could possibly go wrong.
All right. I'm going to go soak the cemented oatmeal off of my bowl. I will be back in a minute.
Woogie. I guess. It's not like we're going to stop you. How could we? We can't. But I've got some. I think. Nope. Nope. Are you more? You're also relevant. That's not going to work. That might work. Not that one. Or that one. There.
I'm sure there's something ill-advised about the ergonomics of spinning while in a wheelie office chair, but you know what? That's what we're doing.
Does it make you happy?
Well, I mean, we'll find out what the ergonomics are like in half an hour.
Oogie.
That might not make me happy.
That's fair. That's fair. What do you want?
Just one little distaff poking up. I'm spinning, I swear.
Maybe. I
It
decided
says I
while you were gone.
should put down the crafting and pick up the studies. I'm actually going to ignore the studies because I want this dang cardi. I approve. I
Yep.
am not going to be the voice of reason today.
I mean, I won't for that. It's a perfectly legitimate thing to me. Why? You so not a dead. Who said you could do that?
Oh, that's break time. Wow, we are a full minute and 10 seconds lagging, or latency on our stream. That's cool.
Ooh, that's a lot of latency.
That's a lot. I have it set to low latency, so I don't know what's with the latency. Or maybe I don't have... You know what? I might have been slightly delayed on my viewing of the stream.
Ah.
That's cool. I may have clicked a button at some point and not realized. Okay, that's less latency. Yes, that's much better. Okay, no, that was a me problem. Hi,
So I think
I'm the problem.
third,
Me.
third sprint, I think I'm going to cast on this stuff.
Yes. This is where we find out if I can carry on a conversation and spin at the same time. I am not certain if I can.
Okay.
We're going to find out.
I am stupendously close to finishing this thing. This back panel.
Just show off. I'm spinning this. Ooh. It's my other ply for my Christmas Day spin.
I'm at 7 of 9 waffles to have a finished back.
You're so close.
Yeah.
Finish.
I might actually be able to get this back one done. On this sprint.
Alright, let me just...
I mean, to be fair, guys, I already have an FO to talk about this week on the podcast. Tyler's like, of course you do. Alright. I am ready when you are.
Alright, let me just get this yarn through the hole.
Get you back. Okay.
Okay. Are we ready? I'm gonna start the timer.
Go
Sprint
for it.
number 3, let's go! I'm sitting on my hair. That's not gonna help anything. I'm more and more understanding why women of years past kept their hair up all the gosh darn time. You just
Well,
kinda have to.
most women didn't have hair that long unless they were nobility and didn't do anything for the day. Most working women only had hair that went down to about the middle of their back.
God damn it. Come here, come here, come here, come here.
So, because you desire to replicate the 1%, you're kind of on your own.
I understand. I'm doing it to myself.
Yeah.
I understand that the nobility with the long, pretty hair would not have been doing spinning. Heaven forbid you do manual labor.
Oh, yeah, you wouldn't have spun. You
Oh,
would have
gosh darn
embroidered
it.
and stuff. You still would have done things. You just would have done different things. But you had to take the bigger risks, so go for it. I would rather be among the serfdoms. Thank you very much. I would not have been in danger of risk of being married off when I was 13. I would have married in my early to mid 20s. And it would have been fine.
I thought early to mid 20s was a touch old back in the day.
Nope. Again, that's your television upbringing talking to you. You have to be able to afford the marriage bans. You can't do that till you're in your early to mid 20s, unless you are in the top 1%, in which case you're married off pretty young. Most men were only finished apprenticeship by like 19 into their chosen labor, so you couldn't afford to get married to your sweetheart till you had money saved. It was a bad spinning day. So it didn't happen. But then like everyone's like, well, yeah, but everybody only lived till they were 40 and they were all short. No. The average North American male is 5'8" in 2023. In the Middle Ages, it was 5'6". On average, they're 2 inches shorter than us. Their lifespans go anywhere from 40 to 80. They don't really do 100. They do 40 to 80 fairly consistently. Again, if you die by accident, it's early. You could live to old age. You could catch a disease. Same things that happen now. It's a super common prevalent misconception.
Hair up. It doesn't help that, like, the clothing stuff that survives is... Like today, the stuff that you find on the sale rack is the very small stuff and the very big stuff. So, like, the surviving garments are the very small stuff and the very big stuff.
Big stuff, yeah. Well, it's because the big really stuff would be made down into smaller items. Like, you can't make a smaller item bigger. So it would go down in size until that was it. Same with people like, oh, but they always all wore brown. No, there is more than enough evidence that they wore every color they could dye. They wore yellows, they wore greens, they wore blues, they wore reds. There's laws telling you what colors you are and are not allowed to wear depending on your class.
Pretty much the only colors they didn't wear were the ones that were really hard to dye. Like, I guess purple dye doesn't really occur very naturally.
It does, but it's expensive to dye, and after those, what are they called? Oh, it's got a specific name to the law. You could only do it if you were of such and such a class. Same with like ermine, like there were specific colors and fibers and furs and stuff that only the rich could wear by law of decree of the king. To do so was to stand outside your class structure, and while it's somewhat permeable, it's not like an upward mobile sort of thing. Like you don't really have a lot of transition across the class structure until after the plague, and that was just simply because it killed so many people.
Bad spinning day, I swear.
But of the three, yeah, no, I would choose serf class, tied to a land and a lord. Done and done. It wouldn't have been an exciting life, but I would have had protection, from Raiders, the guy I served.
Yes. Something to be
If
said
my
for
crops
stability.
failed, I could expect that the keep to which I owned my serfdom, or who owned me, technically owned the land that I worked on, were required to feed me if my crops failed. Like, there's a level of protection there I wouldn't have gotten in any other class structure. I would have been better educated in a nunnery. Depending on the nunnery. But at the aristocratic level, that would have been very not healthy for me. Not an option I would have picked. Especially since if my husband passed away and I was a serf, I would then just be head of the household.
Well, Lisa says sumptuary laws.
Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. I can never remember it.
One day I will manage to make yarn that doesn't break.
Oh, yeah, I
had such a good spin the other day. Didn't even break the yarn. It was great. And now today I just can't.
There's just days where it doesn't work. Hey, listen, I did the most adulty thing of all adulthood the other week, and I know I'm never repeating that process again.
What was your most adulty thing?
I got the old bar of soap and the new bar of soap to become one bar of soap.
Right. I thought the most adulty thing was folding a fitted sheet properly.
There is only one way to fold a fitted sheet, and that is the way that Instagram Reels taught me to fold a fitted sheet, which is to toss it over my head and make ghost sounds and wave my arms dramatically. Folding a fitted sheet properly isn't that hard. It's just, why would you bother? Fold your flat sheet. Roughly fold your fitted sheet. Fold one of your pillows. Put all of said folded items into other pillowcase. Store. Then you know exactly where everything is. Am I wrong?
Sorry, concentrating.
It's fine. You're spinning. Ooh, I have fun.
Okay. I don't want to speak too soon and jinx it. Yeah, I'm jinxing it.
Mm-hmm. You spoke too soon.
The concentration is intense. Okay.
Project B is enough that just starting this first square is always so hard.
Why is this the hardest thing ever in the world today? I guess I wasn't trying to hold a conversation while I did this the other day. I was only watching not really watching Critical Role.
Oh, I watched the last 3 episodes of Vox Machina for this season.
Yeah, me too.
So good!
Ugh.
I'm glad that they've announced they're doing a Mighty Nine series as well.
I'm so excited.
Even better, I'm so happy that they didn't try to cram the whole Chroma Conclave into one story arc, like into one season.
It sounds like there's a lot going on there.
It's a huge arc, like it's a several season arc in my mind, even if you're doing the fast forwarded TV version. And you are missing chunks because TV versus stream, right?
Well, yeah. You have to make some choices.
Yeah. But it is still really quite well done. We meet Garmelie. Oh, Garmelie. So adorbs. Do, do, do.
I just noticed a wonderful old thing about my antique wheel.
What's that?
There's when you have the yarn on the closest hook on the flyer,
Yeah.
there's a little trench in the flyer from where the yarn's been running for literally hundreds of years. There's
Hundreds.
well, a hundred, maybe
She's
200.
not that old.
Yeah, she's not that old, but like 100 years. So I don't know. I like it. The yarn just fits so perfectly in there. I'm like, I'm spinning the same size yarn that people have been spinning on her for 100 years, and yeah, I don't know.
Makes you feel happy.
A connection to the past moment.
Okay.
I'm having a moment.
You're having a moment?
I'm having a moment. Moment of connection to the past. I'm also apparently today really good at stopping the wheel with the I've forgotten the term. I was going to be all fancy and say the right term, but the post that actually drives the wheel up and down, the footman maybe? I don't remember. Anyway, but stopping with that at the right spot to just start going again without having to get it in the right spot by turning the wheel. Anyway, I'm happy. I'm having a moment where me and Esmeralda were bonding.
Uh-huh. How does one even do this?
I don't know. What is this that one is trying to do?
I wound my sock ball of yarn and sock project into my Briggs and Little ball of yarn.
That's talent. I don't know how one even does that.
Neither do I. I do know that I live for the day when I can have a yarn bowl that doesn't have this stupid cutout in it. Which I know just means get a soup bowl.
At the knitting group the other day, the one guy with the brioche sweater just brought like, I don't know, I think it was like a ceramic like chip bowl or something. It was like a giant serving bowl to put his yarn in, which I thought was great.
Oh, yarn bowls are so pretty. They have this daftly annoying tendency to have these holes in it.
I mean, the holes are there on purpose to feed the yarn through.
No, they're just there to get stuck.
We're doing so well there, Esmeralda. Why? Why?
Me and sock yarn, guys. Me and sock yarn. Read one end. I should be able to read through this. Read the other. you want to make some yarn molds that have this hole in them and the two-pronged hole, like the solid holes without the little divot space. Yeah, sure, go for it. But make some pretty freaking bowls that don't have them for those of us that don't want them. I don't know how much time is left in our sprint.
9. Concentration. So much concentration. Jude says, I use a small wooden fruit bowl I got from IKEA for the no cutout thing.
Yeah, I'd like to support like the indie makers who make these things. Just they don't make one that's usable for me. The same way as like I keep looking at the pretty tumblers and stuff, but really the glass size is so small. I'd be forever getting up having to refill my cup. Ugh, no.
And also says you need a finished pair of socks so she can start competing.
Yeah, I know. Turns out working the solstice chart and working the Nordic Nights chart at the same time was not a good idea for my brain. It rejected that concept pretty hard. I was looking at the solstice socks today, and I was like, yes, but if I start, then I'm just going to want to work on them. And I needed to get a pair of vanilla socks on the needle or something to take to D&D. The thing is that because we're moving closer to spring, I don't want to work on full... I don't want to work on a full foot sock. I want to work on shorties.
So work on short socks.
I believe I can hear Asa telling me to finish something from Norway right now.
That faint echo. Oh yeah, I think I can hear it too.
Yeah. And I've got 2 patterns that are... I need to do the last bit of checking for and then send them up to test knitters, so... That also has to happen. So far as I know, it looks like Warhammer's a go for tomorrow, so recording tomorrow evening, I guess?
Sure, yeah, whatever works. Or if Monday's better, that's fine too. I don't have anything on my schedule.
Well, Copen hasn't cancelled yet, so... we might actually make it there this time.
Yeah, no, my schedule is wide open, so whatever works for you is fine.
I need these boys to sit down and do something on a regular basis. It's just like herding kittens. And they all complain that they want to do it, but they won't make time. Like, oh, hey. Obviously, you don't, or you make time.
Group of people at work that have been, like, expressing interest in in-person board gaming events, but, like, I can just tell that we're all the sort of people that desperately want somebody else to organize it.
Yeah, so it won't happen.
I know.
Because as the person who has to organize these things, we're annoyed. Because you won't give information.
I'm gonna have to be the person. It might have to be me.
Oh, just wait. Everybody be like, yes, and they'll be like, cool, when is everybody free? Crickets. Ah. Pulling teeth. I get quite frustrated about it. It's one of those ones that made me evaluate that I'm like, I'm not getting back into the Blood Bowl League. Not because I don't love Blood Bowl, because I do love playing Blood Bowl. Because I am absolutely tired of having to chase a fully grown adult for nearly 2 weeks to just get a freaking date and time when they can play out of them. I'd have them get grumpy that it doesn't fit my schedule, but they waited to the last 2 days of the round to let me know when they were free.
Oh, Soxy Nana has joined us in chat.
Hello,
Good afternoon.
I'm complaining about how people don't schedule stuff. That's because I'm an organizer, so it drives me nuts when other people don't just give the information that's required off the hop. They know they need to do it.
And also says, and some outer layer of mittens. I don't remember what that was in reference to. I've been slacking on my job of reading chat, I'm sorry.
Slacking.
I'm sorry, I made the poor choice to try and spin and read chat at the same time. I think now that there's 3.5 minutes left of the sprint, I've finally got it.
You have regrets?
It was perhaps not the wisest decision I have ever made.
The lace pattern that I want to use, because I want to make a pair of double layered mitts, is going to be a bit problematic because the underlayer is knitted, but the top layer is crocheted. So I need to work some adaptations for people who will refuse to, for various reasons, work the other fiber craft. So it needs to start with me finishing it off in the way I want it done, and then looking at adaptations for it. Which means a lot of searching to see if I can find a similar-ish enough knitted pattern to use. Like a knitted lace stitch to use. And so far I've had no luck because I don't like any of them for what I'm doing. But what I like is the knitted underbit and the crochet.
Yet another
overbits.
Sherry in the chat. Says morning all. A different Sherry.
Morning. My sister's name is Sherry. So it causes confusion sometimes when I'm talking to my mom and I'm talking about Sherry, but I mean moderator Sherry, not sibling Sherry. Sherry's in my life. But it's okay.
Get some different names.
Yes, one is Sherry, the other is sibling. Or your daughter. Mom knows who I'm talking about then. My dad does that to her sometimes. He goes, your daughter. My mom goes, I've got two. You gotta pick one. It's just not a singular entity in this case.
Also says, give me the crochet pattern and I will look.
Okay.
Oops, that's making it up.
Don't expect to see anything till Monday. I am, as they say, busy. I took 25 minutes to do like 2 rows. Yeah, this is a long panel.
Got less than a minute left in the sprint.
Oh. Ear.
Okay. Sprint done.
Sprint done?
Sprint done. As I broke yet more yarn. That's all right. I got some done. was perhaps not a good spinning day.
That's fine.
All right. 5-minute break on the thingy.
Stretchy, stretchy. Oh. Ooh, that feels good.
Oh. Stretch. Okay. Esmeralda, away!
Ooh.
Pick up a wad of my hair, because apparently I just shed wads of hair everywhere.
Okay.
Oh! I have determined that this is not the most ergonomic chair for
Spinning?
Yeah, it's not the best ergonomics.
I feel like that might have been a foregone conclusion.
Also says I need to finish those mittens. I hate whips.
I'm aware you do. I also know you know sometimes I have to put something down and walk away for it for a while.
And Soxy Nana says, "Go, ladies." What do I feel like?
What
do I feel like?
Oh, that's what's in you. Okay, you stay first.
Do I feel like straight stockinette knitting? Or do I feel like doing the heel of a sock?
Straight stockinette knitting so that you can pay attention to chat because you ignored it last month.
Good call.
I'm gonna go back to my cast on.
I'm going to work on my podcast anniversary. Look, I finished the ribbing of the bottom of the back panel. Yay! I forgot to put a progress marker in, but there was like 2 more rows left. And now I'm in 11 inches of stockinette.
That is a lot of stockinette.
It's a lot of... The back panel is just stockinette. It's not cables like the front.
Okay.
So I do like 11 inches of stockinette, and then I shape for the armholes.
Shoulders?
Yeah. Jude says, I understand that. The first 4 cardi is still in the I am mad at you corner. It needs 7 rows of a button band to be finished, but I am too mad at it. Oh, but 7 rows. That's so close, though.
I feel you. Once I can get over this back panel hump for the 4, it'll just fly. And I know it. And I know it because I know me and back panels for crochet cardigans.
You a cat? What are you? You're stitch marker. What are you? How about a moon? A moon seems nice. Let me clip this in where I'm at right now so I can see how much progress I can get done in 25 minutes.
Okay. I am good when you are.
We've got a whole minute and a half left in our break.
Oh, beautiful.
Can't skimp on the break. I'm gonna take this as opportunity to stretch. Stretch. Oh. That was actually really not ergonomic the way I was sitting with the... Oh. Okay, the spinning may have been a mistake today. Ooh. Ooh, mistakes. Oh. Yeah, mistakes were made. There's so much hair on my... How do I shed this much and not be bald? I swear. Why am I not bald?
Oh.
How does that even work? Jude, only saving things that once done, I will have finished my first Christmas present for the year. Yeah, that's very on top of things.
It's very good. It's a good plan.
I have a square on my bingo card for that. Finish a Christmas present before December. Oh, thinking of presents. So I have
Okay.
that friend that's getting married in a couple of months, and I figured a couple of little crochet dinosaurs with little wedding accessories might be a really cute present.
Are they like dinosaurs? Yes.
Well, oh, short break done. Um, the group chat that I'm in with this friend, our like unofficial symbol is the T-Rex emoji, so like dinosaurs are sort of a symbol of the group. So I feel like a couple of little crochet dinosaurs would go over pretty well. And I can put one in a little top hat and bow tie, and the other one can have a wedding veil. I just have
Yeah.
to decide what kind of dinosaurs that they should be.
Well, I mean, obviously T-Rexes because it's the icon.
Probably T-Rexes. There's a lot of cute dinosaurs in that book, though.
Well, start with the T-Rexes, then make some for yourself.
It's true. Also says, "How are your father's socks doing?" Uh,
Uh-huh.
not balled up. Still sitting here judging me. I need to finish Mr. Diana's socks so that I have those needles to do these vanilla socks. I need my vanilla sock needles back.
I feel like you need more than 2 pairs of sock needles.
I have 3 pairs of sock needles, actually. Since I finished the Diana socks, I have liberated another pair of sock needles, but I thought those might go into the scrappy, stripy striping socks that are also sitting here judging me, unfinished. Because I screwed up the heel on that one, and then I was mad at them, so they've been sitting in the bowl ever since. So I think maybe I will finish those. And then I will actually only have 1 pair of vanilla socks, because the stripy striping socks they're vanilla socks basically with stripes.
Yeah.
But yes, I will eventually cast on my father's. Did I talk about them being finished in January? Asa says I talked about them being finished in January.
That was your plan.
Was it? Well, that didn't happen. As we now sit well into February. The new plan is that they're done in April when I go back for said friend's wedding. That's the new plan. I'm going to start the timer for the next sprint. I hope everybody's ready.
Like, oh, she's just ignoring me.
Oh, no, I see you. Asa's helping me out. She says, I never said the year. All right, I'm starting
Your
the next
father.
the next timer. Next time, sprint,
Uh-huh.
sprint,
You go for
whatever.
it.
The fourth.
I can make fun of you and knit at the same time. I have skills.
Multitasking.
Uh-huh. Unless those socks are cast on before you leave for the Jamaica and you work on them in Jamaica, your father won't see those socks till Christmas.
Well, see, this is
This
why I
year
need
at
to
the
get the heel
earliest.
done on the Mr. Diana socks, because then it's just another bunch of stockinette and then a cuff, and then they're done. They'll get done eventually. It's not like they won't get done. They just won't get done in a timely manner. So what's everybody else working on for the fourth sprint? I'm going to change this subject. What is everybody else doing? Let's center myself in the frame here. What are other people doing? Take the heat off me.
I am continuing the restart of my 2 week sweater challenge.
Tracy's working on socks. Oh, what time do you have to get ready for D&D tonight?
Dylan is picking me up at 5:30. It's
Okay.
2. We're good.
Okay. Soxy Nana's working on Anthology Throw, row 205.
Ooh, nice. All right, who's talking in Discord?
Jen says some dark everyday socks because I just finished my Marled Mania cardigan. Fantastic.
Yes. Excellent.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I want to work on mine, but I mean, I guess I could. There's nothing really stopping me. Except that I have an entire sweater vest to do by the end of next month, so maybe I shouldn't do that. I also maybe have a craft off project to do before I leave for Jamaica.
Yep. I can't remember what we voted for.
I'm making the
Oh, the
June
sun
sun
hat.
hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess means there might be spoilery pictures of whether or not I finished it. Because I will either have it in Jamaica and it will show up in some pictures, or I will not, and it will not show up in some pictures. And either way, you'll know a week ahead of time whether or not I finished my craft off. Crafty Chemist says, the only WIP I'm working on, my 2-week sweater challenge. I have 5 balls of yarn I keep having to untangle. That does not sound like any fun. Untangling yarn is no good. Why are they so tangly? Is it like 5 balls of... Is it like intarsia or something? I don't know, I'm trying to envision why 5 balls are getting tangled. I'm feeling like some kind... Intarsia, yeah, okay. That would do it. I still really want to make that It's Fine sweater. It was making the rounds on Twitter a couple weeks back.
But yes, you tend to be heavily influenced by the social medias.
I really... Oh, we got tagged on Instagram. Crafty Chemist says, I tagged you on Instagram, lol. Fantastic. I want to put my work down and go look. But no, that's the point of a sprint, is it's focused work. I am not looking at social media for another 20 minutes and 45 seconds. I am focused on this. My jobs are to knit and read chat. This is the plan.
I feel like chat wants to know when you're going to do a WIP or do a stash organization.
I would also love to know when I'm going to do a stash organization. I know I need to do it. I'm just not sure when. I suppose it could happen any random weekday evening.
Sure can.
What I am knitting right now is the bottom panel, or the bottom of the back panel for the sweater vest that I'm making for our podcast anniversary. It's the pattern is Dad's Cabled Vest, but the cables are on the front panel and this is the back panel, so it's just miles and miles of stockinette out of this pretty purple worsted weight yarn. Let's get it in a sunbeam there. I enjoy this yarn so much. It's got that kind of rusticy feel. It's just a little bit toothy.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir. I'm voluntarily working at Briggs & Little. You know I like a toothy yarn.
It's very much Briggs. It feels very Briggs & Little, but it's a local farm. I've got my wooden knitting needles. Something about slightly toothy yarn on wooden knitting needles is just...
It's your happy place?
I'm really happy. It feels good. It is a good sensory experience.
Ooh. Nice words.
Yeah. The only problem with this slightly toothy yarn and the fact that I actually managed to make a center pull ball, it doesn't pull out very well. It tooths onto itself. It doesn't pull very well, which is mildly annoying. So I think I'm just gonna pull the other balls from the outside. And in typical
That's
fashion,
much better.
my top half is warm and my feet are cold. Possibly because my window is open and cold air sinks.
Haha.
So
I was
much
like, how in the world do I
concentration
have
going on here.
3 extra stitches on my cast on edge? My numbers worked out perfectly. I don't have 3 extra stitches. I don't know how to count to 15.
So many knitters have advanced degrees in various STEM fields, but we just... counting to a simple number. It's just beyond us.
Oh man, counting is hard.
We're very smart people, but sometimes counting is hard.
Alright, there we go. Make sure we're not twisted. And now that it's more than a cast on edge, it's much easier to feel if it's not twisted. Because, oh boy, wait till you hear about the content creation I've done this week for us for fun.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. It's
We're
glorious.
all
Where's
about that
my
content creation.
pumpkin? Man, was I about content creation this week. I did great. Where's my pumpkin? Pumpkin?
Pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
What pumpkin? What pumpkin?
I have a pumpkin stitch marker that I'm using as my beginning of round marker.
Oh.
Pumpkin.
Oh, it's so cute.
But I need to put them in because it's time to mark the beginning of round. And since I have stitch markers to indicate shoulders and stitch markers to indicate center front and center back, I need a different stitch marker to indicate front of round.
That makes sense.
And I'm going to use either your kittens, if I can find them, because I put the package somewhere.
Put it somewhere safe?
Oh, probably.
Yep. Jude says, yep, last time I was around people when I was counting stitches, I got laughed at because I got frustrated and had to recount 12 times.
Yeah, it's no. There's something about counting stitches. Just so difficult. You want me to do fractions in my head and decimal points for baking conversions without even a second thought? You want me to add taxes and do budgeting on the fly while at the grocery store? Sure. Won't even break a sweat. Won't even slow my roll. You want me to count to 12? Nope. Not happening. Keep track of 6 different men of Gondor as they run across the table to defeat the armies of, the evil whatever scenario for Warhammer I'm playing tomorrow. Oh yeah, and I can't even see that. And who's done what and where? Sure.
You mean to analyze the efficiency of this algorithm, silly. Which is just a different kind of math? Absolutely, yep. I can do that with
no problem.
Yeah. But like counting to 7.
Nope.
Not sure about that.
Not sure that's gonna happen.
That might be too hard. Might be asking too much of me.
Might be asking too much. Just blows my mind. That this that's where I have problems. That's where I have problems. Okay.
But I suppose it might also have something to do with the state of mind when you're crafting versus when you're doing the other kinds of math, because crafting is like the chill evening activity when you've used a lot of your brain cells already.
No, but sure.
I'm trying to make it make sense.
Okay.
I'm trying.
I just assume I don't practice it enough to be good at it yet. When I've had enough practice, it'll be fine. It won't be perfect, but it'll do. Also, guys, I'm not looking for perfection in this cast on edge. I just want something to be passably decent, and we're moving on with our day.
As long as you can fudge it and it'll block out later, it's fine.
Yep.
Reminds me,
Yeah.
somebody, when we finish the sprint, that I want to order some more of those square, like IKEA cube shelf boxes. Not necessarily from IKEA, but I want to order some of those because I want some for my shelves for when I do my organizing.
Ooh, yes. You should place your order so those come in. Can't you get those at like Walmart or something?
Yeah, so even if I can just like order it for pickup, just having that thing that's gonna nag me that I need to go do it will make it happen faster.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Maybe that's how
So
I do
when
it.
I'm
If
done
it's
this
just that
sprint,
one thing, just do an order for it.
yeah.
That's a really
So I figure I can fit. I have to do a little bit of measuring, but I can fit at least 2 of those per shelf, and it would help me stack and organize things more nicely than they are currently.
you would like it to be more aesthetically pleasing?
I would, because then instead of seeing the mound of stuff behind me, you could see some nicely stacked squares, and then I could actually bring I could bring the shelves that are usually out of frame down closer to in frame so we could see more of them. So we could
Okay.
see more pretty organized yarn and less pile of stuff.
I just about had Louise talked into trying anime on Thursday. It would be a
I
quid pro quo. I'd have to watch Hallmark movies. So, like, if there's a sacrifice involved here.
mm, I tried watching another episode of that show that Denise is into, Miraculous.
Okay.
It is it is magical girl anime, but it's 3D computer animation and it's meant for a younger audience, so it's even faster paced.
Nope. Nope.
But it is magical girl anime.
Magical girl anime is not my favorite kind of anime, so it's
Yeah.
already a struggle for me to watch.
I enjoy the level of cheese and drama
Fair, fair.
of like I love the level of cheese in a good magical girl transformation. Like it's just so absurd and I love it. And then
I
the
like
level
things
of
like,
drama of like I have a crush on this boy and I can't talk to him when he's around.
see, I like slice of life. I like romantic comedies. I like those. I like Call Can't Make Friends. And this poor girl is going through, I guess, whatever, junior high school. I'm not sure how it works because like I never went through that grading structure, so I'm not sure what it's called. But she can't. She's so anxious about talking to people that she can't talk to people at all. So she has over dramatized anime reactions for someone with extreme shyness issues. And it's just the story of her life, and her goal is to make 100 friends. So it's just people learning to get to know her as her, even though she's like so shy she writes on paper and freaks out and hides behind things all the time. Like never speaks.
That
That's the
sounds
sort of stuff I
delightful.
like. That's the sort of stuff I like. I'm like,
When she
you're
says no one
just
says you have to
freaking
watch the Hallmark movies with the sound on.
adorbs. Well, yeah, it's kind of the point. But I mean, I also liked watching Wednesday. Like watching is loosely termed, guys. I usually just listen with the described audio.
Wednesday was good. I enjoyed that.
I enjoyed listening to it.
And then
It's just sad
somehow
Mr. B's getting rid
her
of his
like
Netflix, so I won't be able to watch things very shortly on that platform anymore.
And we're talking about getting rid of our Netflix too, because it's
There's not
just like,
enough there. Like if it was American Netflix, then I wouldn't have a problem with the price increases. But it's like it's not. It's not.
I think we might end up with like rotating subscriptions to stuff like, oh, this show came out on this thing. Let's get it for the length of time that this show is on or coming out or whatever. We'll just resurrect our subscription for a month and then cancel it again for this one show.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm not gonna do that.
I do that with Funimation.
Funimation doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Did that with Funimation. It's been a while because I would do that when I had a cold or something and I was homesick.
Yep.
I would resurrect my Funimation subscription because it's like $5 to make my brain leak happy chemicals out my ear.
Which is really what you want to do when you're sick.
Yeah. So I would just do that. But I haven't been homesick in 3 years, which is kind of nice. I haven't taken a physical illness day in 3 years.
It kind of happens when
Plenty
you're
of mental health
isolated
days, but not physical illness.
That's fine. It happens. I have Crunchyroll, I have Disney Plus, and I have Prime. That's plenty. If it doesn't happen on there, I don't actually really need to watch it. I really don't need to watch it. It's not necessary.
There's a few good shows on Apple TV, I will say, that we've totally legally watched, even though we don't have Apple TV. But Severance is really good.
So that's one of those ones, like, if streaming services don't want us to do it or, like, to do it illegally, but they set it up where it was, like, an extra $2 a month and you could share your account with other people. Well, I would absolutely do that and do a quid pro quo. You have one, I have the other. We're paying the extra money so that we can share with another household and we share with each other. Like, I would do that. That'd
That's
be fine.
what Netflix is doing. It's just $7 or $8 to add another person.
No.
Yeah.
They're charging too much.
That's a whole other Netflix account.
It's not. Netflix is like almost $14 a month now.
Well, okay, yeah. Back in the day.
Yeah.
I think Netflix was like less than $10 a month when I started.
Yes. Yeah. But it was worth that. It's not worth what they want you to pay for it now.
Yeah. Well, they definitely have some good stuff, but yeah, I could definitely just kill that subscription and resurrect it whenever something good comes out. I think that's the plan.
I think it's a good plan. Otherwise, you're spending too much on it.
So at the moment, we're just watching a lot of Star Trek, and that's all on Crave, I think.
We had Star Trek on Netflix too, but I suspect Star Trek is in a lot of places.
I can't remember. Because they all kind of look the same, right? And I don't remember which one we're actually watching stuff on.
I think I'm going to do the history hit for the year. I'm going to pay for a year subscription of that.
Mm.
And happily watch all those documentaries and stuff. And we'll see if they produce enough content that I'm interested in. Like, I might keep them. And I mean, I keep Prime not just for the video, but for like the ordering perks too, right?
Yeah.
And Time Team's on Prime, so really, if I ever need a binge rewatch, there's always Phil and his cut off blue jean shorts digging in trenches in the UK. So like, I got really bad eye candy from the 90s to watch. It's fine. But they have new Time Team episodes on YouTube because they crowdfunded for episodes and stuff. So like,
ooh.
Which is really exciting to see.
I need a snack for this break.
Ooh, are we coming up on break time?
Might have to. I think it's time for a long break, like a 15-minute break. Make some tea,
Sure.
Snack.
We should put some music on because I think we might both abandon our screens for a hot second.
We might. I might have to find some music for that.
Some hold elevator music. So I could use a bathroom break.
I learned that there are Spotify playlists for medieval lo-fi, which
Done.
is like the sort of like background tavern music,
Yes.
but make it lo-fi.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also
done.
somebody's done an entire album of the Lord of the Rings, but lo-fi. I don't know how the more epic
Medieval
tracks
tavern.
translate, but the Hobbit tracks, anyway, translate very well. So, I'm not sure that I can play those now that I've talked about them. I think YouTube might raise a copyright stink if I did that, but I think I can find some free lo-fi to play while we're offline, while we go off and make tea.
Yeah, let's get some royalty-free stuff.
Yeah.
All right, this is finishing my second knit row, so I'm about ready to start my 1x1 ribbing again. How are we doing for time?
We have 1 minute and 20 seconds. Okay, knit fast, so die warm.
Knit fast, die warm. It's the new Bond movie. I might.
Oh, we watched an old Bond movie the other day.
Keep going until I finish this row.
Old movies are just charming, but also the level of casual just sexism and misogyny is just like, wow, was this really the world? It's kind of amazing. But other than that, they're quite charming.
Slipping my stitch markers as I come to them.
10 seconds left.
Well, I'm knitting over my 25 minutes.
Row.
I'm just about finished a row, so like I'm gonna keep going until I'm done a row.
And that's time. How'd everybody do on your sprint? I got a few rows done. Look at that. Look at that progress. It's not bad for 25 minutes. Oh, stretch. I should finish this coffee that I made 3 hours ago. Crafty Chemist says the ding makes me think of the seatbelt sign on airplanes. It does sound like that. I picked the least obnoxious sound that this website can make. It had some pretty harsh ones. This was the least obnoxious one.
I have no idea what sound you guys hear. I don't get it.
It's the ding like the seatbelt. It's just a little ding. It's very unobtrusive. Hot plates turn off. I do not want to start a fire. Alright. Next sprint, I'll do a sock heel.
Okay.
But currently I require a snack of some sort.
Do you know what kind of snack you're going to get?
Long break. I'm going to wait. I'm going to remember. Order of operations. I'm going to put on the long break timer.
Okay.
Long break.
I'm with you.
Oh, it's 10 minutes apparently on this thing.
That's fine.
And then I'm going to find some music, and then I'm going to order my boxes. I'm remembering to order my boxes.
Good.
I have a little app here that does royalty-free music. It's just updating.
Oh, that's fine. I am doing that first stitch of the next round so your beginning of round marker doesn't fall off. You know, that stitch. And now we're done. And I can put this down. 10 minutes, you say?
Yes.
Well, I feel like other people in the group are going to do the same thing I'm going to go do, which is go to the bathroom.
That is an important thing.
I feel like that is a good place to start at. I'll be back. Make sure to be back by 2:34. I can do that. You ready?
Let's go.
Break time. Oh, that stretch felt good.
Okay. Chill. Oh, lo-fi right here. Ooh, turn that way down. Okay. I'll play with that in a second. I need to order some boxes. Almost finished a repeat of the pattern, 5 more rows. It's just 11 repeats left. Should finish it in a month. Yeah, blankets are like that. Let's see. I think I want clatter. Walmart? Sure. Walmart, square boxes? Is this the thing that's... No, I don't... Storage boxes. I mean, I guess I could just order some Amazon ones, but Amazon would make the most sense. I don't want to give money to Amazon. It's cute. Yes, this is exactly what I want, though, Amazon. Ugh. Oh, that's even in, like, the color that I want. Can we have black, though? I think I like black. Okay, let's drag this tab over so you can see what I'm looking at. And then let me pop open the tab thing. No, I have not turned on the music yet, because I'm still talking. I'll turn on the music when I leave frame and then there's nobody to keep you company. But this is what I'm thinking of for storage boxes. And basically just turn them on their side and put them on the shelves behind me. But do I want like white ones or like gray ones? Brown? I definitely don't want brown. So do I want beige or black or gray? Is really the question. To show off yarn, should they be transparent? Ideally, yes, but these things don't come in transparent. As far as I'm aware, the black shows dust. And see, here I was worried about white showing dirt. So I think maybe we should go with gray, because that will minimize the showing of dirt and stuff. But I'm gonna let me take this off the screen. I was gonna just turn them... Do I have one? Not convenient. I was gonna turn them so that the top is facing out so you can actually, like, see them. So it doesn't actually matter if they're transparent or not, because I'm gonna have them sideways so the top's facing out. The gray would go well against the mirrors. Okay. I guess I will get a set of 6. What are the dimensions on these things? What are the dimensions on these things? You wanna give me dimensions? Here we go. 11 inches tall, 10 by 10 by 11 tall. That's fine. So let me measure. Oh, that'll be perfect. They'll line up perfectly with this shelf. And then they'll be like, how long is this shelf? How many can I fit? Oh, I can even fit 3 across the shelf. Fantastic. Yes. Okay, so I can fit 3 to a shelf. And these come in sets of 6, which is honestly fine because I don't think I need them for the top shelf, which is just all fiber. Like Jocelyn's cubes, kind of, yeah. Just like the storage boxes that go in. Where's my box? Where's my box? Like this box. I think the gray ones are smaller than this one, but you know, like these, and I would just turn it sideways so the top's facing out. So then I can just put them nicely on the glass shelves, and I can stack my yarn nicer and organize it nicer. And actually, you know what? I think I actually want 2 packages, because I've got, you can't see up there, but there's 3 shelves. So I want like 3 along the counter, and then 3 on the shelf, and then 3 on the shelf. So I need at least 9. And these come in things of 6. So if I just get 2 packs of 6, then I can do all of the shelves that I want to do. Okay. Add that to the cart. Oh, there's cute rainbow baskets. I do not need cute rainbow baskets. There's cute rainbow baskets. Okay. And that should arrive in a couple of days. Done. Okay. I'm going to turn on some music because I'm about to leave. And go find a snack. I'm sort of guessing that that's an okay volume for music while nobody's here. I hope it's an okay volume for music. I do not need this. All right, I will be back in a couple minutes.
Just these.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. Oh,
Wow, this music did go very Muzak. Cool. Well, I happened to come in at the end of the track, so there we go. Great.
That's
We're
good
back.
timing. That's good timing.
Snack. We decided on a couple packs of gray 10x10 cubes from Amazon.
Ooh, good call, good call. They'll come to you. That's even better.
Yep. So for like $40, I get 12 cubes, and 3 cubes fit on a shelf, I measured.
Oh, good.
So I can put 3 along the bottom on the counter, and then I can move the shelves down to fit nicely on top. Okay. And then I can put 3 cubes on each shelf. And there's 3 shelves. Really well. Not that anybody's ever seen them, but there's 3 shelves. 4 including the counter. So I can have nice cubes in the background too.
But they don't count against the number of spells you can prepare each day. I didn't think so.
What doesn't count against your spells?
There has been a long time since anyone's played a cleric, and I'm playing a subclass cleric, so I always have prepared Bane and something else. But D&D Beyond insists that those count towards my total number of spells I'm allowed to have in a day per spell slot, like per spell level, and I'm arguing that no, it doesn't. I can't switch them, but they don't count against me.
Makes sense. Because you're a grave cleric, right?
I am a grave cleric, yes. So there's just some things I get. But I mean, like, I also don't have my languages picked out. Guys, I need to decide my languages. Besides Common. I know how to speak Common. Everybody speaks Common. But I'm a human, right? So I have like 3 other languages I have to pick.
Oh, good grief.
So I'm like, oh no.
Squirrel outside is making a racket collecting dried leaves, and it's just like mush, 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 mush. I'm like, why are you so loud?
I don't think I've picked all my feet. No, I haven't picked my feet yet either. Cool beans. I'll probably pick that in the car with Dylan. So we'll talk about it on the way down. I've been thinking about it, but I'm not sure. Like, I'm not 100% positive what I want. Which is the problem, right?
I was supposed to look at something on Instagram before.
Yes, we were tagged.
I know my own PIN code. Yes, we got tagged.
Oh, did you log me out of TikTok when you were done?
No.
Okay. It's asking for me to do something, but it won't let me screen capture the screen to blow it up to see what it's requesting. So TikTok is really not accessible.
Awesome. We love a good inaccessible app.
Oh, it's worse than any of the dating apps I've tried.
That's so disappointing.
And those things broke my phone.
I remember that one time we were trying to submit a form and we couldn't because the text was too big.
Yep.
Like, we got a server error because the text was too big.
Yeah.
The text was too big for the internet tubes.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't make any sense. From a developer perspective, there is no reason big text should have caused a server error.
Nope, but it sure did.
It sure did.
You were there. You were there.
It was reproducible. We did it multiple times.
Yeah, B was there, so she was looking at it too, and she was just like, "This is not okay." And I'm like, "Well, it's fine that it's not okay, but it's still what we're dealing with here, folks. It doesn't change what I have to deal with."
And they don't make it easy to report bugs either.
No, they don't. No sites do. No app developers do, and they don't care that they're there, unless absolutely everybody under the sun complains about it. And people don't. So, what are you gonna do?
I do understand the Intarsia problem now.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in this picture.
Intarsia, yes.
That's a lot going on.
Can be quite complicated.
I don't know what the item is. It's a weird shape in this picture, but I like the colors.
Not entirely sure what we're looking at, but I love it.
I love it. What is it?
What is it? There we go.
So are we good for one more sprint?
I'm good for 1 or 2 more sprints.
All right.
The internet is doing internet thingies. Which other works out in my favor?
A little bit more snack.
Or doesn't. Ow, my ear. Ah. It's the first time it's given me grief this whole time, so. We are doing fine. But I haven't taken any painkillers today either, so.
I hope it doesn't give you grief at D&D.
Oh, it probably will, but since I haven't taken any painkillers, I can just eat and take painkillers with dinner, and then I'm covered for at least 2/3 of the session.
Well, there's that.
And that'll help a bunch. That'll help a bunch. You're looking at.
Sure. Okay. I need to. I need to pull up the pattern for this heel. That's what I need to do.
I love it. That one? Haha!
That one? This one?
Oh, I'm just arguing with my screen reader again, as usual. As usual.
Why am I looking this on tiny screen? I can go boom. Have tablet, tiny tablet.
I don't know why you're looking at it and a
Why
tiny screen.
why am I struggling and squinting at it?
Why won't you do anything but focus on the wrong thing? That's just not helpful at all. Wait to see if it loads in a different app.
Okay.
We'll see. Oogie Spooky. What do I want to work on? I don't know. You know what? I really do need to continue on with either the sock or the sweater.
I'm setting up for the sock heel so that I've got roundy knitting for tomorrow. When we record. Or Monday, whenever we record.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now they're like, oh, are we done at 3? Are we done at 5? So I don't know. They're like women. They'll make their decision later, I guess. I'm used to them doing this to me. Okay, so I have to do a round of ribbing as my setup. So 2 rounds of 1x1 ribbing, and then I can start on my increases. I figured out my increase problem because I kept reading it and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. So then I scrolled down. Kindly, she worked the schematic out so you would know how many stitches you should have when you're done your increases in each section and
Mm-hmm.
your total for your size. So I just looked and then, yeah, it makes total sense. She just worded it really poorly.
Ah.
It is an overly complicated magic rule when it should be a knitting instruction. Yeah, because it says round one, increase round. From beginning of marker, make one left, work in pattern to marker, make one right. I'm not releasing any secret sauce, guys. This is how you do increases. Slip marker, work in pattern to the next marker. Slip, do your increases. So, okay. 8 stitches increased. So it
I
shouldn't
guess I
mess
should start
up.
the timer for this last, maybe last print.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna start the timer.
Okay,
And
guys, start the timer.
sprint. Sprint the 6th. Right? No, 5th. 5th.
Fifth. But if I'm making one stitch at the beginning at the end, and the next round you do your work all your stitches as established in the 1 by 1 ribbing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why I'm making the moss stitch?
Just make sure you're knitting your knits and purling your pearls, I guess.
Yeah, but when they have how she's got the increases described, you make one, then you
Mm-hmm.
purl, and then you continue around. But if I do it that way, I have 2 stitches where there was once 1 stitch. Like, this all makes sense.
Yeah.
I am not knitting and purling and pattern anymore on round 2.
Because you've got the spots where there's now 2 stitches.
1 additional stitch. You're not increasing 2. You're increasing 1.
Sorry, but there's like 2 stitches where formerly there was 1
1, yeah.
in a 1 by 1
Which
rib.
1 by 1 rib, which messes up your pattern unless you alternate. So, like my second round, I should be starting with a knit, not a purl. Maybe
Well,
I
how
don't
do
know.
these increases look in the finished thing?
It
Because
looks
maybe.
like the ribbing just grows out of it,
Hmm.
but it doesn't but you know what I'm talking about? Like if I put an extra stitch in, and then it says work all stitches as established in 1 by 1 ribbing pattern, slipping the markers as you come across them.
Mm-hmm.
My center front and my center back should always be a knit stitch. That's why they have different stitch markers, identifying that this is center front and this is center back. But if I'm adding in stitches before I knit or purl my first stitch, I'm out of sequence. That's why I'm making the moss stitch
Mm-hmm.
instead of my ribbing. So how is make one increase working? Or should I just?
What's the pattern called?
This is the Easy V sweater.
And I have a Rav tab open already. CV sweater.
On either side of while maintaining the 1 by 1 ribbing pattern as established. Yeah, no increases are made. Every other round, and yeah, every other round you
The
don't.
Easy V by Caitlin Hunter?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. Okay.
And the odds are good it's just me because I struggle with ribbing anything.
Okay, and the increases are happening. So we're starting at the neckline and we're making increases where?
In that ribbing, in the picture of that ribbing, that chunk of ribbing at the top, this is where your first set of increases are
okay,
being
so
done.
there's like shoulder, so it's happening at shoulders, and then there's like
Yeah.
decreases for the center, front, and back.
Nope. Nope. You're
No.
adding on either side of the shoulders. So your shoulder panel stays at 15 for now, and you add increases there, and you add increases just before your center front and center back, which makes the V shape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. Like that totally jives in my head. What doesn't jive in my head is how to make an increase in 1 by 1 ribbing so that I'm always purling my pearls and always knitting my knits without having to change if I start with a knit or start with a purl. I pulled out extra stitch markers that don't mean anything so that I could put them in so I could track this to see what I'm doing wrong.
Looks like, I guess, your increases just become a new column of knit or purl.
They do, but we're not putting two in at a time.
Yeah, so I guess just the next row then do whatever it should be to make it work with the rest of the stitches.
And then adjust everything over, I guess? Which is not an instruction included in this at all, by the way.
Tracy says sometimes you have 2 purls at markers or 2 knits. It's weird, but it looks okay.
Then how in the hell am I getting moss stitch? Everywhere where I have increases, it's moss stitch. Everywhere where there's no increases at all, it's like perfect 1 by 1 ribbing.
Tracy says you don't always start with knit.
No, you start with purl in this one. And not each stitch marker starts at a knit. Some stitch markers have you start with a purl on the other side of the stitch marker. What you should always have is your center back and your center front should always be a knit stitch.
I don't know. I've never done increases in ribbing.
I've done it once and I had just as much trouble as I'm having this time around. They're worded very convolutedly and it drives me nuts because it is not clear. So it reminds me of magic rules and stacks in the order of operations when you're dealing with complex card interactions, when it should be as simple as a sewing pattern set of instructions, where so long as you know the terminology, it's fine. I gotta start with 2 rows of knitting anyway, so. Or 2 rows of ribbing anyway, so. To establish my ribbing pattern.
I'm just going to carry on with my short row heel.
Yeah, that's way more fun than this is.
It's a very pretty sweater, though. And now that I've seen it, I want one.
It's really nice, and I want to do it at the worsted weight, because if I've got it figured out, mastered out for the worsted weight, then I can scale it down yarn-wise. And figure it out for a fingering or a DK version, right? Like I can make smaller versions for myself on a lighter yarn.
Mm-hmm.
But I really wanted to start with the worsted weight size.
Harmony says, so I'm thinking your ribbing would be slightly off until you add another row of increases. Then you would be back on track. I've never done increases in ribbing, so I'm totally guessing.
Oh yeah, no, it's just awkward looking, and I don't know why. So what I did is I pulled some extra stitch markers that aren't associated in shape or color to anything, thanks to Susanna for the stitch markers in the variety of shapes and sizes, which let me do this. So I've got stitch markers to mark my shoulders. I have stitch markers that are different to mark my center front and center back. I have a stitch marker that's different. It's my pumpkin. It's my start of round. So what I'm going to do at the start of my round, when I start my increases, is I'm going to drop in the marker so that I can track where my first stitch is before I've made anything and see if it levels out after 2 rows and
Seems
falls
reasonable.
back into pattern. Because I won't take for 2 rows of ribbing. That's never ever bothered me. That's not a problem for me. And I like the little rolled cuff hem because they've got the ribbing before it or after it, depending on where it falls in the pattern, so that your curl for your stockinette edge doesn't travel. It doesn't keep curling. It stops. right where that ribbing
Mm.
starts, which looks so nice. It looks so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really happy with that. So I'm excited about that. And the color work chart is beautiful. I don't even want to make the sleeves tight. Like I want to make those bell-shaped sleeves. Like those look
This does look
adorably
really nice
comfortable.
and cozy, and oh, I love this. Well,
I
okay,
just
that's going in my favorites.
I just didn't want 8 to 10 inches of positive ease.
I absolutely do, because that looks so cozy.
I do not look
That's
good
a
at 8 to 10
socially
inches of
acceptable
positive
blanket,
ease.
is that what that is?
Absolutely, do it up. It doesn't look good on my body type. So I'm not doing that. So there was
Love me a socially acceptable blanket.
as what as everybody in the mod channel could contest, there was a lot of discussion of math this week. If I do this, I get this. If I do this, I get this. But which is this way? Which is this way? And I've gone with a looser gauge on a bigger needle at a smaller size. That will still, in the end, absolute max only have me at like 3 inches of positive ease, which is a nice relaxed fit. I wouldn't want anything other than that. Which is still negative ease around the chest, by the way. So that it stays on my shoulders.
That is the problem.
Yup. If I can get this figured out, I will take this sweater to D&D tonight. If I can get this puzzled in my head, then it just becomes a matter of taking probably my monster dice bag because it creeps Dylan out. Um and he sits beside me. And moving it from one side to the other so that I have a visual reminder if I'm on an increase row or a not increase row.
Oh, yeah.
And that's all I'm going to need to do because kindly, even though I don't understand the ribbing instructions, I'm sure they make sense to somebody, they just don't make sense to me. She has the total stitch counts you should have when you're finished and ready to move on to the next step. Because they're broken down, I can just do my increases till I have the right number of increases in my shoulder section. There's no increasing. Or my your front and your backs are split up into two sections with a center front and center back stitch, which is always knit. But the little space between where your shoulders are don't get any increases. So those counts stay the same the whole way through. So I need 4 stitch count sections to be the right numbers, and they're all the same number from start to finish. So I can just check as I go to make sure I'm doing my increases properly.
All right.
But I'm very blessed because my DM believes in the theater of the mind. Like, we don't have minis. Unless it is a boss fight, there is no mini on the table ever.
I like
All
minis.
combats, all interactions, it's all done in your head and with a description of the space given to you by our DM. And that's amazing. And forces a sense of spatial awareness that I wouldn't think other people would have otherwise.
I definitely don't. My spatial awareness is bad even in real life, so.
It does also mean like if we want to add an element for like the rule of cool, we can.
Hmm.
So long as it's not disruptive to any, story plot points. Like really. They kept running back and forth on the deck, and I hadn't been introduced to the party really that well. I'd paid for passage on the boat, so I asked the DM if I could have a deck chair on the boat. He was like, "Absolutely." I'm like, "I'm gonna sit in my deck chair," and my character knits because I was knitting in real life, and she's gonna knit and observe this back and forth.
Yeah.
My GM's like, "Of course you are." I'm like, "Well, I want to do it comfortably. They're all weirdos, so I want to watch them before I decide to interact with these strange creatures because I'm not sure about this."
Jude is asking, do you increase, then purl, so that on the first row after the increase row, I would then knit that lifted slash increased stitch. Then the next increase would be purled first to get the pattern.
That's what I'm thinking. Me and Jude, we're on the same track. Like that's what I'm thinking I have to do. So this is the test run of that because otherwise my pearls and my knits are lining up for moss stitch, not ribbing.
I read the words, but I did not process the words, so I'm just gonna nod and smile.
I processed the words. Jude, you and I are on the same track. That's what I'm thinking I gotta do.
Oh, Tracy agrees. That sounds right.
Yeah. Oh, we're almost done the first round of ribbing. But I got 2 rounds of setup ribbing first, so. And then obviously the rows will get longer as we go because I'm doing the increases. And there's not a ton of increases in that yoke chart. But I mean, like, I still want to make a Sunset Highway sweater, but I don't have a main, like, I don't. Where's Erin? Why isn't Erin in the chat when you need her?
You want to place a yarn order while we're
I
live on
want
the
a
internet?
Sunset. While we're live on the internet, Erin, I want a Sunset Highway t-shirt or sweater shirt. Can we get on that? No, I'm gonna see her on Tuesday. Tuesday. We're gonna hang out on Tuesday. So that will be
Oh,
it.
Tracy says, I found it weird when I made it, but it worked.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel intuitive, and you definitely don't receive that as a set of instructions to keep it in pattern. It just says in pattern, and I'm like, what now? But you overly describe how to do your increases. That's a choice I don't think I'd make.
Some things make more sense in people's brains than other
Oh god,
things.
like, and I do it all the time. That's why I have awesome in my patterns to unjostlin it, because there's no way that what makes sense in my head makes sense in a lot of people's heads. That doesn't work, guys.
Oh, Susanna's back. The new
Hi, Susanna.
modem router thingy is now connected. Thank
Oh,
God.
beautiful.
Oh, Jude set the fire set the fire alarm off. You're just knitting too fast, burning it up.
That is a
And
talent
Crafty
I
Chemist is
don't
back
have.
as well. Excellent. Everybody's back.
Oh, wonderful.
We've been on for 3 hours.
Yep.
Do you know that?
The whip sprints are our longest thing that we do. But we're really just chilling and chatting and knitting, so.
I like the chilling and chatting. I had a thought while we were taking our long break there, and I turned on some music because we were both gone.
Yes.
I could have just turned on some of Mr. Diana's music. Because
Yes,
he
you
made
could
me
have.
some tracks for when I stream code stuff, and I didn't even occur to me that I could have turned on some of Mr. Diana's music.
Well, I'll do that next time.
I am bad wife.
No.
I did not think.
You're just not used to it, that's all. That's the thing. I need a knitting machine. We need to crowdfund me a knitting machine.
I agree, and also I want one too.
Why, you ask? Because I would like some very basic lace panels and stockinette panels in lace weight yarn, which I will never be able to knit. Which you can program a knitting machine to make for you.
Yeah.
And then all I have to do is the seaming part, which I absolutely can still do. And I could make myself some very pretty cardigans and stuff.
I still want Twitch to knit me a sweater.
I think we all want Twitch to knit you a sweater.
But that's several $1,000s of investment that I am not prepared for.
Yeah, no, I'm good with a much less complicated model.
That's future goals.
Well, it's the
Eventually,
same with
one day.
the tube, like the circular sock machine. I'd like one of those at some point too.
Jason says,
Will it
wish
make
I
my
knew
life
that
any
4 years
easier?
ago. Could have had some for free. What, knitting machines?
People get rid of them occasionally.
Yeah, but like those things are expensive.
I know, I've got my dad keeping an eye out for a used one if it pops up.
Man, I even like I've been kind of thinking about getting one of those like plastic Centro ones.
Oh, like the little loom ones?
Yeah. Like ones you can do hats or like maybe sweater panels
We have
if you don't want
such
anything
puppy
too crazy
woes.
oversized.
One of the dogs in the suite has woes.
Oh no.
Hardcore puppy woes.
Oh.
I can just hear the hardcore puppy woes. I'm like, oh puppy.
Oh.
I feel bad for you, dude.
Tracy says my sister-in-law's parents had 5 of them.
Oh my
For
god, that's
what?
excessive. That's a lot.
But yeah, I was thinking it might be nice to have. I really want, I really do want a sock machine so I can make vanilla socks faster.
That's my thinking, because I know with practice and several pairs of, oh my god, these aren't going to work for anybody, because I've used the yarn so much to learn that it's useless now. You can do your heels, toes, and you can do a folded cuff. But I like a folded cuff, so like I could do the whole sock.
Mm-hmm.
And will it be kind of fiddly at the beginning? Well, I mean, obviously yes, because I'm learning how to use it. That makes sense to me. But even if I cranked a bunch of tubes and then bought a bunch of sock needles and drove you or Aaron nuts every once in a while and asked you to pick up stitches for me so I could do heels, toes, and cuffs. Still not a bad idea.
Oh. Tracy's updating the knitting machine story. Her dad was a tailor, and they made baby things for the store. That
That would make sense.
makes a lot of sense. Oh well. One day.
Yeah, I
One
keep looking
day
for one
I
of the
will have
older used models.
space.
I will never have space, that's fine.
I would have space for one of those flatbed knitting machines if I didn't have this built-in desk behind me that I'm not using for a desk because I have my fancy standing desk.
Which is fine. Well, yeah, but that's not your forever home. You guys are shopping for a
No.
house.
Things are friendly, more reasonable.
Well, yeah, you're in a
They're not
buyer's market, not a
asking
seller's market now, so
they're not asking $1 million for houses like the one I'm living in right now.
yeah. Yeah, no, you definitely have a seller's market, so that's fine. You just need to take a look and see if there's something that fits what you want in an area of town you guys are willing to live in.
Yeah, we keep looking. Something pretty decent came up while we were away, so of course we couldn't go look at it, so of course we weren't gonna put an offer on it. But,
No,
stuff's happening.
yeah, no.
As
See
we
it in
move into
person,
spring, I think they'll move
get your
more.
inspections. Just don't
So
take a lot of time to think about it between one and the other.
we we haven't been the 2 times that we've actually gotten as far as putting offers on houses.
Yeah, no,
It's been
it.
like we see the house like the next day, and then we get the inspection like the day after that, and then like a
Yep,
day and a half later we've submitted an offer, like all inside of a
that's
week. It's like, yeah,
yes,
here, just like make the biggest purchase of your life inside of a week.
yeah, about 72 hours from start to
Man,
finish on average.
I've thought more about buying a pair of pants.
You think too much about buying a pair of pants.
It's just very stressful.
It is. Yeah, no, I'd have people come view the house when we're selling out the old house here in the city, and I would have inspectors the next day, and I'd have like 3 or 4 lined up to come through the next day.
Ugh.
The inspectors don't care if you're in the house. People did, which only annoyed me when they would call and ask if they could come see the house on short notice. And the real estate agent my father picked, Lord save me,
Oh.
always just said yes and then informed me someone was coming in 15 minutes, and I said, cool, I'm not leaving the house. I don't know what part of I'm blind and you can't just spring things on me you don't understand, but you're gonna hit that wall real hard right now.
Yeah. blind and living in suburbia without, like, a means of transport out of suburbia.
You're stuck. You're as isolated and as stuck as though you're out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm certainly not just going to go chill in the children's park for 4 or 5 hours every evening.
Oh, 4 or 5 hours? God, no. For like 1 hour, sure, if the weather's decent.
Yeah, but they wouldn't show up on time.
Of course not. Thank you, Crafty Chemist. She says, bless you.
Oh, yeah. The few times I did leave and come back, they would be arriving when I was coming at the end of their appointment time.
That's not helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about clothing and buying stuff, and did you see that I got an axolotl crop top?
What is an axolotl crop top?
It is a crop top. Oh, Sprint's done, by the way.
Okay.
It's a crop top with pink and purple axolotls on it. Axolotls being like the like salamandery things with the like feathery fin things.
Okay.
They're kind of cute. They're like sort of weird alien looking, but they're like sort of cute. Anyway, that was my post in our Critical Role chat about Critical Role influencing my closet some more.
Oh, so you bought something like that? Okay.
Because Taliesin had this cool shirt, and then Critical Role Closet tweeted about where you could find the cool shirt, and then so I looked at the shop, and then they had lots of cool shirts, so next week or so I will own an axolotl crop top.
Of course you will.
And it is the fault of the Critical Role cast and the Critical Role Closet Twitter account.
So long as you know who you're blaming, that's what counts.
Yes. This sweater, also the fault of the Critical Role cast and Critical Role Closet Twitter account. Because Laura Bailey wore it once, and I went, I need that!
Yep. Hey, listen, if I was small enough that I could fit into the Jester Lavore dress, I'd own it. But I am not, so that does not work. All right, we've added the additional stitch marker. I don't care that the sprint's done. I'm working on my sweater. Okay.
Well, that's fine. I'm going to turn on the short break timer, because I'm going to have to go get more water.
That's fair.
But look, I'm approaching the turning point of my heel. I did that much heel.
That's fine. The heel is still a bit of work. Like, it's still a good 30-40 minutes of work just to get halfway through. Makes sense to me.
Crack, bang, snap. Oh.
All right. I could do one more sprint and then we gotta stop for the day because I gotta start getting ready to go.
All right. I will get some more water, and in 4.5 minutes we can do our last sprint. I have to figure out what I'm doing for our last sprint.
I'm working on my sweater. It annoys me that it's way so far behind.
I shall return.
Okay.
Without the headphone. This way. Don't need that. I think I want to work on that sleeve cuff. That's what I think.
Yeah, you've decided?
Because I might finish it in one more sprint. Oh, what have I missed in chat? Susanna's having breakfast. Nikki Knits has joined us. Susanna's got oatmeal and blueberries and tea. That sounds very much like my breakfast.
That sounds very
bananas
tasty.
And coffee.
Except the oatmeal part.
You know, some of us like oatmeal.
I like oats and a lot of things. I don't like oatmeal.
What's wrong with oatmeal?
Don't like oatmeal.
I mean, that's perfectly fine.
Now you're talking blueberry oatmeal muffins? Oh yeah, I'm there.
Nikki's gonna sprint on a vanilla sock. I'm resurrecting the sleeve cuff from an earlier sprint. I'm gonna try and get the sleeve cuff done.
That's fine.
Sally says, I like oatmeal, especially the cookies. I don't mind an oatmeal cookie. Oatmeal cookies are the one kind of cookie I don't mind if it has raisins.
Ooh. See, I'm not a raisin and the cookie kind of fan, but I do enjoy a good oatmeal cookie.
I am not a raisin in the cookie fan, except for oatmeal cookies. They are the sole exception.
That's sure.
And there's white chocolate and cranberry cookies, like dried cranberries. Those are also good. But I guess they're not raisins. They're kind of like raisins.
Cranberries are not like raisins. What are you snorting and why aren't you sharing cranberries like raisins? They have distinctly different flavor profiles.
Attach. Okay. Nikki's having tacos for supper. That sounds good. We're making, or I guess probably I'm making, epic Scottish breakfast. Ooh, Susanna says ginger molasses cookies. Yes, those are best cookies.
I do love a good ginger cookie. Do you still have that recipe for like that 3-ingredient pumpkin cookie?
A three ingredient pumpkin cookie?
Yeah, there was like a vegan pumpkin cookie that C used to make for us.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Where
I remember
is it?
that. They were really good. And she totally shared the recipe with us at one point in life.
I know. But where in the world did I put it?
Well, if you find it, let me know. I definitely don't have that in my usual recipe places.
I know. That it was vegan.
But that was just like taco salad. I'm making chocolate zucchini cake. Oh man, can I come over for dinner? I want tacos and chocolate zucchini cake.
You can make tacos and chocolate zucchini cake. You know how.
My
sister was making a carrot cake. My sister was making a carrot cake when I was talking to her because they were off to get ready because Super Bowl's shortly.
Was that this weekend?
I don't remember what weekend it is, but carrot cakes.
I know it was sometime soonish.
Are very easy to make gluten-free. So she was making one so that they could take because the hubby's best friend is celiac. So it definitely
I should start our last sprint here. I'm going to start it. Okay, last sprint. Sprint the 6. Everybody, get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. As if it's some kind of race. It's not. It's a race against your... It's not a race.
It's not a race, guys.
It's just being mindful and intentional and just not getting distracted by your phone every 5 minutes.
Do people get distracted by their phones every 5 minutes?
I do some days.
Okay.
Not most days, but some days it's bad. I'm
Some
just
days a
not
lot of
at a.
people phone me, which I suppose would count as a distraction.
Some days I'm just not in focus mode and I have to literally put my phone in another room.
Oh dear.
Which is really annoying on days where I need it because it's also my two-factor authentication device for work.
You have to learn to
And
stick it
some
in a drawer.
days are just the day where I have to re-sign into everything and then I need it all the time because it's got my two-factor codes on it.
I just learned to stick it in a drawer.
I don't have a drawer. I mean, there's drawers behind me, but
I would do.
that would do. I can just leave it in another room. Honestly, if I just put it behind my laptop on my desk where I can't see it, that's usually good enough.
Yeah. Out of sight, out of mind.
Honestly, yes. Super Bowl is tomorrow, says Sally.
That explains why she was making a cake for Super Bowl. But yeah, the hubby's best friend is celiac, so
I was
we've
thinking about
been
making a cake or like sugar
discovering
cookies
a
or
lot of
something.
foods that are accidentally or really so close. Take one thing out and it is gluten free. That
Mm.
we've been astonished at how easy it is.
Yeah, some of the food allergies are not that bad.
Oh,
And at least if it's a common one, it's well labeled.
yes. Or a deadly one. It's well labeled, which is how it should be. Can't believe I'm doing this ribbing in this section again. Ah,
But maybe this will be the last time.
it has to be. I'm already, what, 4 days in and I'm not done my ribbing?
Oh, Thursday. Oh, that's like 2.5 days. Because it's only Saturday, and we only started on. Well, you only start on Thursday. Mm-hmm. I should have turned on a light. The sun moved. It's not as bright in here anymore. With all the shiny reflective stuff in this room, it gets dark in a hurry when the sun moves.
I would imagine, yes. I can hear the monster snoring, but I can't see her, so I think she's in the closet sleeping on fabric.
Nikki says, I may have bought yarn for the growing sweater that Rachel gifted me over Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Concentrate. Concentrate. So much concentration going on here. This attach as you go concept, I may have slight regrets about.
Yeah, I just made mine separately and seamed it on because it seemed like a lot less thinking.
I just really hate seaming.
That's fair.
So why did I make a patchwork cardigan?
I don't know.
Because it looks cute.
There you go. So long as you know what you're doing.
I've learned my lesson. I don't even hate seaming all that much once I get into it. It's just not actively knitting or crocheting, and so therefore brain says no.
Therefore, brain says no. All right. So now I need to purl the first 2 stitches in this section.
Says Rebel MCal and Simple Slouchy Sweater. Sound like good projects.
Yeah, today would have been a good day to go out and take photos, but I was scheduled to do something else.
There we go. There's some light. I can see what I'm doing in this navy blue yarn now. How about that?
It'll help. It'll help.
Yeah. Oh, hey, eyes. They work. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Crafty Chemist says, oof, gotta take a break. Knitting worsted weight is harder on my wrists. Switching to crochet. Good call. Ergonomics and safety first. Oh, the ghosts are attacking again. If I don't shut this door all the way and I have the window open, sometimes the air pressure does like weird things and it bounces the door open.
Oh, yeah.
It's air pressure and I'm sticking to it. It's definitely not ghosts. Probably. It's probably not ghosts. Susanna says, and I got my printer talking to my computer. That is an achievement.
Oh, God, that can be such a chore.
Printers are hard.
Mine currently has an error code.
Computers.
Mine currently has an error code. I can't figure out what's gone wrong.
No.
All right. There's my increase stitch.
Jude says, no T was harmed in the setting off of the fire alarms. No reason for alarms to be going off was found.
Just randomly was like, and we're just going to run a test.
Yeah. Randomly on a Saturday. It's fine.
Everyone awake? Good. Good, good.
I am unreasonably excited for my dinner. I'm hungry.
I believe it.
Oh, we're in the home stretch on this cuff.
Good.
I might actually finish it this sprint.
I just want you to keep working on that when we're done here and get it finished. Then you have an FO.
There's, well, unless maybe we end up recording on Monday, but it's highly unlikely that I will be done this by tomorrow. Just because it has some really large lapels. And especially if I decide I need to redo the bottom hem.
It's true. But I'm sorry, I don't know. I just don't know what the boys are doing.
Nope, that's totally fine.
I will be expressing in very vocal terms that this is not an acceptable way of treating me. Or anybody else in the group. Don't waffle on an end time. do a lot of rebooking because one guy forgets to put it in his calendar and then his wife books him to do work. Because he hasn't put in the calendar, he doesn't know that he's already promised his time to somebody else.
It sounds like a him problem.
The other's your brother-in-law. He was the last person to cancel. And that was because of you.
He didn't have to cancel for me.
You go ahead and explain that to his mom.
He can assort? Yeah, he can
assort
himself. Assert
oh, he can,
himself.
Can he?
like licorice all sorts? Yeah.
Yep.
Just like poof, turn into all sorts.
Oh, jeez. That
was
family won't.
What was I saying?
That he won't to that family any more than you will to your mom, so there's no point giving him grief because you don't do it either. I point and give grief because when my father changes the schedule on me last minute, I yell at him about it. More specifically, I yell at mom about it. And then refuse to change my plans overly.
Oh, Susanna says good pictures of your stash.
Thank you. It took way too long to make that real.
And Esnit says, morning from Australia, about to start knitting on my huge tube.
Oh yeah, huge tube.
Huge tube all the way. I want to make a huge tube.
All the way, guy. I was just, it's also delightful to go, people are like, what are you making? You go, huge tube. Watch them go, what now?
It is a tube. It is huge.
It is huge. Therefore, it is a huge tube.
I'm thinking my sparkly mohair held double with some fingering weight for a huge tube.
That'll be nice. I really want to see you cast on that anima sweater. Is that what it's called?
Anemone.
Anemone sweater. So
Yeah.
I really want you to have that super drapey mohair sweater.
That's gonna take a minute. I need to work down this WIP pile. I'm working on it. We will get there.
By finishing that jacket this weekend? Question mark?
Well, I'm certainly gonna make a solid try.
Yes, that's Mario Kart. Nope, Mario World.
So not judging. I was definitely humming that the other day.
How many other video games I have played in my life? It's the Super Nintendo version of that and Duck Hunt that is forever stuck in my head.
I think it's a generational thing.
When I whiffle, it's like when you miss shooting the duck.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear. So apparently today, this afternoon, I think it was today. Yeah, because Super Bowl's tomorrow. There's the Puppy Bowl today.
Okay.
They've trained puppies to play football, and they're all adoptable puppies out of the thing. And it's a huge thing. They were talking about it on the radio this morning.
Oh.
The announcers, they were giving you stat profiles of the different puppies. It's all for a good cause because it raises money and donations for the shelters, and then there are puppies that are available for adoption, so like they could find their forever home too. So I was just like, that I can appreciate. I am invested. Yeah. It sounded adorable. So I might have to see if I can catch the puppy bowl at some point on the internet somewhere this week.
Oh, I'm sure it's gotta be
Gotta be
widely
somewhere.
available. Something as cute as a puppy bowl.
Yep. It's gotta be somewhere, guys. I'm gonna watch that and see what it's all about because played fantasy football, played in fantasy football leagues, played football. I watch football, so like I know what the sport is, so I figure I know it well enough. I can watch puppies play it, and I might enjoy it more. And I tend to find regular football matches kind of boring. But then again, I tend to find most sports matches pretty boring.
Yeah. I am not a sport person. I am vaguely invested in the Marble League,
That's fair.
which is somebody that makes those like marble courses, but then just like calls them different sports, and then there's the different colors of marbles are from different teams, and then there's an announcer, and they have like the sound design and like the stat blocks and everything. Like they do it up like it's proper, like a proper
Sportage.
sporting thing, and it's just marbles going down a track.
Perfect.
But this has been going on for a few years now, and so like the different teams have merch and like different chants, and there's like 20 different teams in the Marble League. I think it's extremely cute. I'm falling down on my job. What am I? We were talking about a huge tube. My partner says that huge tube all the time. Susanna's trying to get energy to knit. Also has started repeat 4 on the baby blanket.
I just violently expelled a stitch marker off my needle. It's like, hello, I would like to nosedive dramatically. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where
Ooh,
it is.
Susanna's got the stuff for a crochet snuggle pet blanket.
Oh,
Sounds
that's
cozy.
I have a pet who's taken over that crochet blanket I did last month.
And Tracy says puppies with the smiley face with the hearts.
Yeah, I think it would be very cute to watch. Very least, it'd be better than watching the Super Bowl, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's like men in shiny pants or puppies. Come on. One of these is obviously better. Ooh, Sally's binding off her shawl.
Oh, good.
You have just over 6 minutes left to finish. No, I'm kidding. You can keep going after. It's great. I think that's the second finish that's happened today.
I think so,
Jen
yeah.
finished a Marled Mania
Yeah.
earlier.
Pearl's here.
Oh man, I'm so freaking close to finishing this cuff. Regardless of whether I finish this cuff in this sprint, I'm going to finish this cuff before I get up from this chair. Because I'm literally like 2 rows. I'm so close.
I've done it right. But it looks like I have.
Ooh, my leg is twitching. That's weird. Oh. Oh.
All right. I think I've done it correctly. So the next round, pearl. Knit. Pearl. Oh, it looks like I have done it right.
Excellent. Third time's the charm.
Oh, God. It means I definitely can't take this to D&D because it requires just enough thought that I disengage from the game too much. Which isn't appropriate. See, like, I have an FO and now I'm like, well, I should have made that a huge tube. Oh, well.
No, I think I want this to be a slip stitch. That's what I think. I'm so close. Yeah, slip stitch. This is what we want. So close. So close. Oh, 2.5 minutes. So close. So close. Susanna says, it's 5 Celsius here in Calgary, supposed to be 9 above tomorrow, and next week will be warm too. Oh, Nikki's gotta go, supper's ready.
That makes sense given the time change difference. I don't know what it's like outside. Didn't even ask Google this morning.
Ha, ha, hoo, he, ha! Ha ha! That's a cuff! Hang on, I need to find scissors. There. And since I still have 1 whole minute...
1 whole minute?
1 whole minute, I think that's enough time to weave in an end.
It might be.
If I can get the yarn threaded on the darning needle, that's gonna be the challenge. There we go. Weave it up through here, and then weave it back down over here. And sprint done. And
Excellent.
Cuff done with ends woven in, because I wove in my first one as I went, with the ends woven in. Look at that cuff. Look at that. It's not the prettiest side of the cuff. Hang on, that's the underside of the cuff. Just look at that cuff. Look at that cuff.
You feel better?
Yeah. One side's a
Yeah.
little bit woogity. That's okay.
Uh,
Cuff.
that won't kill anybody.
No. Aw, cuff.
Well, I'm gonna do one more stitch because I would very much like to not have my stitch markers run away on me.
I'm going to put my darning needle away.
But I
There it is.
got more done
Oh,
on the
you know
sweater.
what? I did put my darning needle exactly where I thought it should be. I didn't see it before.
Yeah, that happens. So I have a new cast on edge, and I've started my ribbing again. Complete with random extra stitch markers to remind me about pattern variations, because in this dark green I can't see knits and purls.
But it's
So that's
being
going
successful?
on. But it's being successful. However, I did put it on when I ripped it the first time, so I know this size fits great. So at least the size testing worked out well. Alright.
Susanna's heading out for more tea. Alright.
Absolutely.
See you later. I think we're also heading out because Jocelyn's got to go be a grave cleric.
I have to go be a grave cleric and rescue a party member's soul because he is being possessed by an elemental being.
Awesome. Well,
Things to do this evening. Things to do this evening, folks.
Maybe I'll try and play a board game.
Hey, all
right, bye everybody. Thank you for joining us for our 6 sprints for our nearly 4-hour stream.
Okay, it's just hanging out knitting. We have to pick a date for the next sprint.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
She says to the person with the calendar.
Okay. I'll figure that out offline. All right.
Don't at me, Patreon members. You don't have movie options because she hasn't given me 3 to put up in a poll.
Oh my god. I will. Yes, I'll do that too tonight. Hey, I made one suggestion.
Yes, and I said that's good, but you need 2 more because it's a poll. We post 3 and then we watch the winner.
That's
not a poll.
One option.
That's not a poll.
All right. Good night, good evening, good afternoon,
good morning.
Maybe good morning. Good morning, yes.
Because it's Australia, it's morning.
I hope everybody has a great rest of your day.
Me too.
Bye.
All right. See you. Bye. I want to make